Hey YouTube, hey Twitch, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Happy Sunday. Canada, big win by Canada today in the World Cup. 1-0 against Africa, I think, South Africa. It's pretty cool. If you guys are watching the VOD or just joining me for the stream, check out my new video. I just released it about an hour ago. It's the continuation of the Overly Explained series. So I know people have been asking for that one. Hope you guys go check it out. Finished up the hatch farm in this episode, and what else? Oh, just a couple minor things. I mean, the hatch farm was the really big one that I wanted to get done. So hopefully I can continue that a little bit more of a rapid pace, because I know people are interested in seeing that series continue. Fitz says, quit coping, bro. Canada has no chance. Well, Canada became the first ever World Cup team to make it from the round of 32 to 16. So, I mean, we already made history. Why not go all the way? Weird tokenish figure. What's up? What's going on? It says, hello, friend. Welcome to the stream. Crimson Riots, welcome. Cool diving suit. And Kevin also says, found his underwater hard hat, I see. And then Fitz said something I don't think that showed up on YouTube chat. I think YouTube didn't show that word on the screen, but anyways, not gonna won't repeat it just in case it doesn't like when I say it either. Okay, anyways, yeah, Canada, let's go Canada. Come on, we got this. 1-0 today, big win, scored in I think it's called extra time or something that they scored in. Anyways, let's see, next game coming up, probably the Netherlands maybe, or Morocco. We'll see. All right, so this episode of so I just wanted to finish giving my plug for Overly Explained. So go check that out if you haven't already. I mean, obviously, like after the stream or whatever, tomorrow, put it on at some point. It's a pretty good one to show a couple of different unique mechanisms, I guess, especially if you're a new player. Like, I think new players will get a lot of information out of it. A lot of like shorts that could be made out of a video like that. But anyways, okay, so in this episode, I got a lot of things already started. The trajectory that I want to go on is to get access to all of these fissures. So there's a couple down here. The biggest challenge with these is honestly going to be navigating these guys when they're pissed off, because see, they're protecting. It says protecting on the thing. So they're going to try to attack my duplicates. Another thing that I have to kind of work... Okay, here we go. Let's see how this works out. Poor Marie. Another thing that kind of sucks is... Why did you go that way? Couldn't you just swim across? That's so weird. All right, please don't get attacked. All right, there you go. You did good. So another thing that's kind of tricky is I need to sort of dig into these caverns, but the water level is going to drop, and I don't want the water level to go like too low, because then the natural gas will start coming out this way. So I want to try to keep it in here. So by the way, the Atmos sensor is pretty important. Let's do that on 9. So as I am digging, I'm going to try to build some walls and build like tunnels, basically, to force the natural gas into a single area. I think that should be sufficient. I mean, obviously this is it's not optimal to have it this high. I might put one that's a little bit lower and try to get a couple. I got cat hair in my mouth. Or chat. You guys have cats. You guys know what that's like. Just randomly. Randomly you start to swallow some cat hair. Hey, what's up, Kira? Nice to see you. Hello, Twitch friendos and YouTube friendos. Nice to see you, Kira, on Twitch. Welcome to the stream. Leah, what's going on? Leah says hello. What's up, Leah? Nice to see you as well. Happy Sunday, everyone. Fitz says just kill them. I mean, I could, but I kind of want to play with them around, like, play with them a little bit later on. They do make abyssalites, so I mean that's not too bad. And they can be processed for squid ink, which is refined carbon. I think that's pretty much the only thing. Yeah, refined carbon is like the only useful thing for it. And Muchin, obviously, but nonetheless, I want to try to keep them. I might just put them into like a chamber somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. So yeah, I want to get into accessing this area, all these caverns and such. Charlie, hey, what's up, Charlie? Nice to see you. And Fitz says hello, everyone. I'm on a small delay, but how is all? I'm not sure if that's a delay from me, Kira. I might just be behind on the chat. That usually happens. So I shouldn't be on a delay. Hopefully I'm not. Murder equals fun. Please make a squid crab fight club like a Renaissance fair. That would be hilarious. I wonder if they would. Will they actually attack each other if these things are mad? I guess they would, right? That would be so interesting to do on like a sandbox mode and have it like, you know, have you guys played those games where you put a bunch of like warriors, like 1,000 warriors versus like, I don't know, 1 million bees or whatever, and then you just like see what happens, or like 1,000 warriors against 10 modern tanks or whatever. That would be kind of fun to see a fight club of squid versus poke shells. Can't you just pump the gas out? Can't you just gas pump the natural gas out in that area? Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is just instead of setting up like a permanent infrastructure for this, I just want the gas to go up into here for the time being, and then I'm pumping it into an infinite storage chamber. Turn this up to if it's only if it's above 1,000. Okay, so in time, obviously, like, hold on, another cat there. Sorry, chat. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I'm feeling it now from before. So what I want to do is in time build chambers for maybe each one and then pump it out. But for now, I just want to get them going. Right. Hopefully that's better. Like, yeah, these have to be submerged. So I'm thinking just build. It's almost like a reverse. It's almost like building one of these is what I'm thinking long term. Essentially just have it submerged with a little bit of water up top, or sorry, a little bit of gas up top. Like a little box, and then it'll just keep going nonstop. And obviously you'd have to have an auto sweeper to bring in the diamond for the marine drill, I would think. I don't think there's any other duplicate labor that's involved besides the delivery. So I think it's fairly straightforward. I just want to get them going because they're obviously, let's turn it on fast speed. Because obviously they're not working right now, and natural gas would be pretty good. Pretty good supplement to everything else that's going on here. They changed the lava texture. Yeah, the lava texture looks amazing. I mean, I know it didn't have the best reviews from everybody, but I really like it. So let's see. Leah says, I think Leah needs to move in too. Okay, so yeah, Leah, which duplicate would you like to rename? You can rename. See, we have Fitz already. We have Kitty Cats, Vibrator, and yeah, I think that's all the people who were named. So you can pick your bed and you can pick your duplicate. Let me know who you would like. I'll bring up the screen while I catch up with chat. So these are all the duplicates. I wish I could make this bigger, but I guess I can't really make it too much bigger. But anyways, let me know who you would like. I swear it was just red before. Yeah, it was just kind of red. Oh, you're watching on console and chatting via phone. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for watching, Kira. I really appreciate that. See, you can use Abyssite to geotune. That's true. Okay, so that's not a bad way to use the squids. Hey, what's up, Pedro? Nice to see you. Who would win? 1,000 Travoldos versus 1 Ethan. I don't know. I think, well, 1,000 I think people overestimate how much damage 1,000 Travoldos might do. Vibrator. Yeah, awesome username. I love that. Make automated stable fighting ring for the assist. Hey, what's up? 2EOGIY, I think. I'm not sure if that's pronounced all in one or if it's just the letters. So apologize. 2EO. Keep it that for now, unless you tell me otherwise. I always butcher everyone's name on the first try, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I would love a Liam. Okay, no worries. I will give you Liam. I like Liam's blue hair, actually. There you go. Leah is now okay. So Leah, you are sleeping in the aquatic rocket bed. Can I be Kai? Says Charlie. Okay, well, you can be Kai. Oh, thank you for the sip of Eska, by the way. You can be Kai, Charlie. I kind of wish that YouTube had also a redemption system, because I'm not sure how I would work it if I tell YouTube they can't have usernames. Yeah, you can be Kai. I don't mind you guys being Kai. Oh, I just I fingered that. Okay, there you go. Ethan would just suck at benefits. Why do you have 1 million food for what, just 10 boobs? Doesn't it spoil? Movies and video games. Hey, what's going on? Good question. Okay, I'll give you a quick TLDR. I'm using a deep freezer. I don't actually need that much food. I'm just too lazy to stop them from making the food. So basically, but I gotta make sure these guys are not, okay, they're not cramped. I'm just keeping the food going nonstop. And so I'm overproducing. That's essentially what I'm doing. It's not ideal to overproduce. I could probably tone it down a little bit now that I have a more stable sushi roll setup. So maybe I could do like 9 and then adjust this a little bit if it's below 3. Keep a little bit less in there because they do take resources. Okay, so anyways, sorry. I have 1 million food just because I'm too lazy to optimize it, but I'm storing it in a deep freezer, so it never spoils as long as the temperature of this little room here is below, I think it's 22 to 18 degrees or something. Deep freezing, let me see here. Deep freezing is minus 18 degrees, yeah. So if it's minus 18 degrees or below, the food will never spoil. So I have a small little loop of thermal regulator that cools down hydrogen gas. So I have a sensor here that says if it's above minus 24 degrees, turn on the thermal regulator, and then it just keeps cooling the hydrogen gas, and it'll cool this chamber down to the appropriate temperature, and then the food never spoils. Now, it's a little bit annoying because obviously duplicants have to come through here to get the food when they go to eat. Hey, thank you so much for the subscription on Twitch with the Twitch Prime, says Charlie. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You do Twitch as well? Okay, cool. So yeah, there you go. So you get to be Kai, and I appreciate the Prime sub. Where's the lovely kitty cat? In IRL, I hope Kitty Cat is doing great. Not sure where she is, but I know she was having some personal things going on that she told us on the last stream. I hope that she makes an appearance tonight, but if not, I hope that she is doing fantastic. I also know that they've been going through a heat wave lately, which is really unfortunate. I know we're gonna get the heat wave too, but Kitty Cats has been it's been a lot of stuff going on for Kitty Cat, so hopefully that she is doing well. But Kitty Cat's in game, she's doing great. She's got the little hat on, and she is. Oh, someone has to go to the toilet. So anyway, sorry. I hope that was a sufficient explanation. I'm just basically deep freezing it. I should change the mutation here because this gives duplicants. Well, I mean, I guess I could give them all rubber boots, and that would be okay. They would kill each other while killing themselves. You mean? I think Ethan would win too, but the trolls are too chaotic, so they might kill Ethan while they kill each other. They could all feed Europe. Does anyone have a duplicant personality that they genuinely hate? I particularly don't like Rowan, says Kira. Interesting. So I know there's some duplicants that I avoid. So I know people are like her, but Pei, or I always call her P or Pi, or I think her name is pronounced Pei. I think Kitty Cats had told me that. I usually don't take her because I always mix up her name. So I don't like hate her. It's just I would prefer not to wonder what their name is. You know what I mean? Okay, we'll give Fitz swimming because obviously Fitz needs to be able to swim. Leah can have sustainability pretty soon. Charlie already has all that. I think we'll give Charlie. Oh, Charlie's the operator, so exosuit training, and then science. Devin. I don't think Devin is really doing much right now, so we'll give him a tinkering as well. So I don't really hate too many duplicates, but I just tend to avoid. Higby is like a boomer. I'm not. I like Higby, but he's a boomer, so I don't know. I prefer to pass on him, I guess. I don't know. It will. I mean, it's funny because Travoldo seems to be the duplicate that gets stuck a lot. I'm not sure if that's actually it'd be hilarious if that was programmed into his personality, to be honest with you. I hope that one day it's revealed that Clay actually does something like that, because that would be fantastic. But yeah, I don't really hate anyone, I don't think. Okay, let's get this done. Come on. It will let's see, it will spoil. 2 conditions are needed: minus 18 in sterile, and a third no food poisoning, which will increase spoil rate. Yeah, so I have those, but thank you for the additional explanation. Yeah, so it's deep frozen and in a sterile environment. You are absolutely correct. So it needs to be in chlorine gas, carbon dioxide, or hydrogen. It cannot be in oxygen, polluted, obviously not polluted oxygen. And by the way, I have a whole video on deep freezing as well. I have 2 deep freezing videos. So if you would like to try deep freezing, and if you're looking for multiple ways to deep freeze, I show you one with an ATN, with the anti-entropy thermal nullifier. I showed the way with the thermal regulator, I believe, if you look up thermal regulators on my channel. And obviously, like, if you can do thermal regulator, then it's pretty easy with the thermal aqua tuner as well, because it's way more powerful. It's just choosing the right liquid in that case, because you have to go pretty low for the temperature. Hey, what's going on, Sean? Nice to see you. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? I kind of like Joshua and May. So that's another one I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce. May or Mai or May. I don't know. Travoldo is the worst, to be honest. Yell at the in-game character when he's mad. Yeah, we love Katie. We got a heat wave here too. Leah, it's everywhere right now. I'm seeing is a heat wave. I hope everybody's staying safe, because we're about to get one too this week, and I'm not looking forward to it. I've been very grateful so far that I haven't had a heat wave to deal with yet, but it's coming. So I guess it is what it is. We're all gonna get one eventually, no matter where we are. But yeah, I hope everyone stays safe, and just drink lots of water and keep an eye on people if you're at work. Movies and video games. That's what do you do in real life? I have I'm an electrical, not electrical engineer. I have such a brain fart today. I'm an electrician. Do you have an understanding of physics in this game, or have you gotten good at by playing thousands of hours? Your bases are impressive. Thank you so much, bases. Movies and video games. No, my bases are, they're a combination of a long time of playing, but they're also a combination of just being very interested and patient with the game itself. So I think patience is a huge thing for this game. You have to be able to, if you try to rush things, it's often doesn't go as well as if you are a little bit more cautious. So I approach everything with caution in this game, even if I know kind of what I'm doing. So my bases tend to be a little bit make slower progression because of that. So you'll often see me on stream sort of not having too many duplicates. Usually people have 15 at this time. I have 10 because it's easier to manage, especially when you're on stream and you're talking to the stream chat and you're not really paying attention to the game all that much. It's a lot easier to manage. So sorry, we're gonna count eggs here, but yeah, it's just a combination of lots of playtime and experimentation as well. If it's below 2, I want to open this door, and then I want to pick up everything. So sweep, eggs. Where is it? Where's the ore haul? There it is. So this is gonna pick up all the eggs. We don't want all these to be in the way. This is gonna send it, hopefully. Yeah, so it should send it through here. Next time they lay an egg, it should drop it in here. Anyways, it's gonna go through, and then I have to send it through this way. There we go. Perfect. It should end up in here, and then all the ore holes will hatch, and then eventually die. calamari, just in case. And that should be good. It might be a hot take, but I think the devs should give stress to duplicants if they eat deep frozen food. Maybe a microwave for them to... You know what? That's not a bad idea, Fitz. I would actually... you know, if the devs could release any other thing in the game that's a huge... Like the next big upgrade, it should be a hardcore mode. Something along those lines where they take into consideration those type of environments. Not just for food related to food, but let's say like, you know, your washrooms, for instance. I think all of our duplicants wash themselves with clean water that has germs in it, right? Because this water here, I guess it has no surface germs because it already, but you know, this doesn't clean germs, right? So when this water comes through, there's no surface germs. What? There should be surface germs in here. Hold on, let me see what's going on. This should have surface germs, I believe, if you're able to analyze this water. I guess I can't right now, but the pipe doesn't have surface germs. So, for instance, like they're probably not too happy about that, right? Also, yes, the deep frozen. They probably shouldn't be able to eat food that's gonna break their teeth. Kind of a cool update in a way, I think. Hey, what's up, kitty cats? Nice to see you. We were just talking about you. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, literally just 2 minutes ago. How are you doing tonight, kitty cats? Also, how's the heat here? We're just talking about the temperature and all that stuff in the world, how hot it's been. Everyone either has a heat wave or is about to be in a heat wave. So we're all like at the mercy of Mother Nature right now, I think. Hopefully it's not too brutal today. For everybody. Okay, I think we gotta keep digging down here. So I'm gonna open up this area a little bit, since our duplicants are kind of just standing around, and we'll see what happens. Try to get into here, and we'll see. There's some more ethanol I see, but yeah, I gotta see what else is there. I hope that there's more geysers that we can tame eventually. Well, I guess we'll just go this way and see what's going on. I wouldn't mind if dupes could just not... I wouldn't mind if dupes could just not like each other, like how they could be friends. That would be kind of interesting. So you mean like a friendship mechanic within the duplicants? How to have underwater radiation for mutated plants? I have no idea. I've never... Well, radiation is underwater gets... it gets blocked, right? So good question. I'm not sure. Never tried that. It's been a rough 2 weeks, but holding on, says Leah. If you currently live, if you saw correctly, I live above you in game now. Yeah, so let me show kitty cat. So Leah has renamed herself to has renamed Liam to herself, and now she lives above kitty cats in the rocket bed. I have no idea where I live. Fitz, I believe you live. Yeah, you live right next to Ellie. You know what? I feel like I should put you next to the vibrator. Because then you have I have all my stream chatters next to each other, and Ellie can live over here. Charlie's over here. I guess I could move Charlie over to where Marie lives. Charlie goes there, and then Marie goes there. Okay, so now everyone's like next to each other. You better not have an accidentally hardcore mode should be make germs more dangerous. They used to be super dangerous back in, I guess, the day. I feel really old saying that, but it used to be a lot bigger problem to have germs in your colony. Now, not so much. Okay, I have to. This is what I was working on before. Just have to delete that and put a smart battery here. Then I can start using this for power. I give my best. If I do, it's Ethan's fault. This duplicate is going to be asleep because it's 3:40 a.m. Thank you for the answers. You are very welcome, movies and video games. I like your username. Thank you for stopping by tonight, and hope you have a great sleep. There's only 78 here today. Thank God. That's Fahrenheit, right? What does that translate into? Well, I have no idea what that's 7 Fahrenheit to Celsius. 25 and a half. That's bearable, I would say. It would really depend on the humidity. Thank you for the sip of Escalia. Thank you so much. I mean, dupes are generally stronger but dumber than humans. If I'm not wrong, they directly say they don't have adult intelligence. I mean, that's also a fair point. They also have very good. They're very quick to learn pretty much anything that you throw at them, which is also pretty impressive. I mean, you got to think they go from peeing their pants to launching a rocket, right? I mean, that's quite the skill level gap in real life. But duplicants seem to know how to do it fairly easily. I guess I have to get rid of the ladders here as well. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll build a smart battery here. Come over like so. Weird Tokenish Figure says it's 78 right now, but it will get hotter. Luckily, I have a mini split AC. Thank goodness for the AC. That is a necessity. As a German, I don't think we'll ever understand those metrics. Yeah, I always have to do the calculation. A lot of people in Canada actually use Fahrenheit for heating and cooling their homes. And it baffles me because I have no idea what they're talking about. So they'll be like, oh yeah, so I keep my house at 73. I'll be like, what does that mean? Let me go look that up. Okay, let's keep digging this way. Delete this. A rad lamp would work from mined uranium. Oh, in the water? Uranium or manual airlock will also put some minor radiation out in the water. Okay, there you go. It's like to be with the vibrator. Joke's on you. I'm into that shit. Vita Coke, what's this? I'm this old. I do remember when Slimeline was deadly. What's up, Vita Coke? Nice to see you. I think I started playing the game right when Slimeline was deadly, like that sort of era. It's kind of interesting actually because I don't want the natural gas to be here. It's kind of interesting because I have old saves that I was looking at recently where I don't even have power going to the deodorizers. And immediately I was like, well, how can that be? Why wouldn't I have power to the deodorizers? And then I remembered that, oh yeah, they didn't need power at one point. You just plopped them down. So you could literally spam deodorizers everywhere and they didn't need the 10 watts of power. It's a great way to get clay. And you could just put them anywhere. Like it made polluted oxygen slightly less of a worry inside the base because you could just spam them anywhere, you know? To be fair, they still pee their pants. That's so true. Did someone buy a dupe name today? Yeah, Leah. Leah bought and Kira. Oh, Kira, did you buy a dupe name? Did I miss that? Oh, I did. Sorry, I did miss that. Kira, I'm so sorry. 18 minutes ago. Wow. I can't believe I missed that. I demand Joshua. He's always the scientist dupe for me. Just Kira works. Okay, so I'm sorry, Kira. Let me write that in. I'm having a brain fart day today. Here, there you go. So you can replace Joshua. I think I got him, right? Yeah, Kira. Okay. So let's put you in a rocket bed next to Charlie. And then we'll put Marie. Marie goes up to the top now. Okay, cool. So now everyone's back in their beds. All my chatters are... we got some in the clam beds, some in the rocket beds. And we got the boat beds available. All right. Yeah, so... Yeah, it was an interesting time, Ani. Like, that's one of the best things about having access to the game before it's officially released. You go through so many variations of changes, and it's a lot of fun to see the development arc of a game like this, especially from a small studio that's still updating it to this day. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Saturn Traps Seed, that's cool. Q&A is part of your content. I love the Echo Ridge emojis, I believe. I think that's Echo Ridge, right? I like his emoji. Clam bed is fire. They are pretty cool. I do like the clam beds. I kind of wish that they had more blueprint styles for beds. Like even if I could change the clam bed to like a blue, that'd be cool. By the way, let's go ahead and see what we've unlocked. It's been a while since we've done this. Okay, so we got the groupthink undershirt. We got the Garnet Stealth Jet Suit. The basic orange gloves. The blue glitter Atmo belt. That's pretty cool. And the polka dot ceiling light. I think I already have that. Not bad. All right, so let's see. The ore halls, by the way, they're doing good, I think. There's too many ore halls here, though. I should make this a little bit lower. I think the ore halls lay eggs faster than they like die off, so I need to get rid of some of them, unfortunately. I don't need this many ore halls. I guess, you know what? I guess it's fine for now. I just have to be aware of how many there are in total, so I don't end up what's it called? Don't end up overpopulating this tank. Kind of the biggest worry that I have right now. Yeah, it's him. They gift subs often over there, funny enough. I love the new fancy beds. They are really cool. Put a fish in condo in there. Yeah, I could put a fish condo. That will only apply to, like, I don't need the fish condo. Then they would make even more eggs. I would have to rebuild this a little bit. Here. So the way this works is it's not actually, you don't get crowdedness with fish dependent on the stable size. You get it with the total water volume. And the total water volume is including the beacons and the ore halls because I'm using mesh tiles to separate the rooms. So they're not technically separated, though. It's a shared water. Hey, thank you so much, Shammy, for becoming a member on YouTube. That is amazing. Oh, no, sorry. I always read it backwards. Kitty Cats with the 5 gifted memberships. Every time I do that. Thank you so much, Kitty Cats. You are amazing. Everyone, if you got a membership from Kitty Cats, is anyone in chat? Please shout out Kitty Cats to say thank you. I see a couple people that have received one that might be in the stream chat right now. So please say thank you to Kitty Cats if you got a membership. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support as always, Kitty Cats. I'm glad you're here hanging out and then the temperature wasn't too bad today for you. She got the zoomies. That's hilarious. I just dealt with the cat that had zoomies not more than an hour ago. And she's sleeping now. I was going to get the bubbles on stream, but they're sleeping, so I want to let them be because if I start to get them I think that's another. Is that another one? I'm not sure if that was if that was part of it, or if that was Kitty Cats, or if that was a separate membership. I think that was part of Kitty Cats. Oh, okay, and then here we go. We got 5 gifted community subs on Twitch as well from Kitty Cats. So thank you so much, Kitty Cats. You are awesome. Kitty Cats is going crazy again. New sub goal of 10 was just completed. I didn't even know I had a sub goal. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Kitty Cats. Ethan, do you automate your rockets? I already finished watching your rocket video. I'm excited to build my first rocket, says Keen. That is awesome. Yeah, I remember we were talking about rockets last stream. So I don't automate my rockets, mainly because this is gonna sound a little bit bad, but when I get to that part of the game, I usually get too bored of the game to sort of keep things optimized. So I just try to get through the game at that point and like accomplish the goals that I set out for myself, and I just don't bother with the optimization at that point. I know that sounds kind of bad. I start to get a little bit lazy as well. I'm not really an end game player. I love beginning and mid game and like sort of the late part of mid game. Once I start to get into end game, like once everything is fully sustained, I start to sort of lose interest a little bit, and that's when I get a little bit lazy. So I don't automate my rockets. It wouldn't be too difficult to automate. It would just like it would basically be, well, what do you want to automate, and setting up the infrastructure to do that, right? So if you have different rocket missions that you want to automate, you'd have to automate according to that. But in general, automation I think is easy enough that it wouldn't be all too difficult if you wanted to go by it. But sorry, I don't have any advice for automating them. All I would say is don't send, if you've never launched a rocket, don't send them on very long space missions just in case you forget something. You can always return them really quickly if they're nearby. But if they're very far away and you realize that they don't have enough food or they don't have enough oxygen or whatever, then it's probably a reload or a death. So that would be my biggest suggestion, I think, for our new player launching rockets. But beyond that, we got some squidding here. Beyond that, yeah, that's kind of what TLDR that I have. Fit says, me too. I recently tried to melt rocket walls and I always ended up with melting ports. Melting rocket walls, I should do a video on that. That was a lot of fun. The stream actually taught me how to do that. I did not know how to do that before the stream. And it honestly made rocketry a lot more fun, having all that space available and being able to fully sustain duplicates inside of that without needing to, supply the raw materials needed to keep them alive long term. So I had like a Hydra. I mostly had bionic duplicates doing rocket missions. So Hydra provided power for them and oxygen, obviously. Then I would just have to refill several containers with water, and that was how I approached that situation. That was really easy. Ethan's rockets run on hopes and dreams. Oh, you have no idea, Fitz. You should see some of my early rocket designs from Super Duper Dreamland. They're taking so long. They're idle, but they're taking a very long time to do stuff. Okay, let's see here. We definitely have enough. Okay. Do we take the Trivaldo, chat? Like, I know Fitz just is not a Trivaldo fan, but I think just for the memes, we have to take Trivaldo. All right, so he's allergic. Obviously, why wouldn't Trivaldo be allergic? I mean, it just makes perfect sense. I'm gonna take Trivaldo here, and we're gonna try. No, Fitz says no. Sorry, Fitz, it's done. Look, he's enjoying his beach chair. I saw it on shorts and I'm confused as heck. Yeah, so I would say that with regards, or sorry, you're talking about rocket melting or the automation. If you're confused with the rockets, just start with the basics of launching them and starting to do like one mission on each rocket. Don't try to do too much at once. Like, what a lot of people that make Ani tutorials get wrong is they don't. Let's see. How do I explain this without being like trying to? I don't want to like sound insulting or whatever, but they don't really like. They assume that everyone who's playing the game at this stage knows everything about the game, right? So, what I try to do is just break things down to very basic levels, and I feel like that really helps new players understand things. So all that being said, if you're confused about a rocket, like rocketry, just think about the basics of what you need, of what you want to do, and don't overcomplicate it with automation and melting right away. Just launch a rocket, get it into space, do a mission, like do a reconnaissance so you can get data banks, or go collect something from a nearby cluster, like some debris or whatever. Keep things simple. Don't go too far, just in case you forget something, and then come back. That's kind of what I would say. And then you'll get some confidence of how the rocket works and how easy it is to actually use. And then you can start going on longer journeys and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of my TLDR on rockets. Hope that helps out. It's really not that hard. It's just a whole new game in and of it in the game. Okay, so think of it that way. It's just very difficult to not find it. Sorry, it's very easy to find it confusing right away. Now let's see here. So throw him to the poke shells. He just got there. He's already slacking off. That's true. I got to put him on a different schedule. I forgot that I probably have too many duplicates on. Let's put Trivaldo. Well, Trivaldo likes the night shift, so this is a perfect schedule for him. And then we have Fitz. We have too many people on the first schedule, so we'll move Fitz on here. And I gotta. Oh, that's what I had to do. Right, I had to make my bathrooms bigger. Let's do that right away. We'll do this. I'll go like here. And we'll move these guys over because, yeah, move this over. Now that we have 3 people on one schedule, my bathrooms are no longer big enough for all the duplicates. So I got to start moving everybody over. And it shouldn't be too hard. I have to, unfortunately, kill these plants. Dark Frost with a sip of Esca. Thank you so much. Lee asks, am I in a schedule with Kitty? Let's see. No, you are not. Would you like to be? I can put you one with Kitty. Let's put Kitty on with... Oh, let's put Leah on schedule 2. And then we'll move Ellie to 1. So we got Leah, Kitty, and I guess, you know what? Just to make things fair, we'll put Charlie here. I think. And then... let's see, we got Kira, Fitz, and Vibrator. And then we got Trivaldo by himself. I was going to put Trivaldo with Fitz, but... but no, it's... he's fine where he is. Okay, let's delete this. I hate that guy so much. To make secrets for Rocket, now it's possible to freeze latex. Oh, can you really? I didn't even look at that. So let's go to latex. Yeah, you're right. You can. Polluted ice and sucrose. Okay, cool. So that's not bad. You could probably use that to your advantage if you wanted to go that route. Personally, I don't usually spend too much time on those rockets. I refer to that tier of rockets as like the beginner rockets. They're okay, but I like petroleum the best. I really enjoy petroleum rockets, and next time I get into rocketry, I want to do Radbolt rockets. I've never done Radbolt rockets as part of my main game so far. Hydrogen rockets are obviously like the best in class, but it's just so annoying to keep them to keep the launch pad cooled enough that they work correctly. Okay, we gotta hurry up and move this stuff because we're eventually going to plug that up. So put the reed fibers here. I can't let this get plugged up. So this is gonna go like this. We'll dig this out. This has to be done ASAP. Put that there. Okay, and then yeah, if this gets plugged up, my duplicates are gonna start peeing themselves big time. Okay, so now this goes down into here. This is the bypass. And then we'll put this back around like that. And then of course, we gotta bring power to it. We got cobalt now. Boom, there we go. So there is this setup. Go ahead and destroy that. Might as well try sandbox for rockets just to understand the basics. Thanks, Ethan. Oh, and Trivaldo is about to do something chaotic. I hope not. Please, Trivaldo, make me proud. Don't make me regret this decision. Yeah, so sandbox definitely works as well. That's exactly how I learned how to do rockets when I first started. It even helps. It helps more. Here's like the best. Here's like the best way to integrate that into your playthrough. Don't just go to sandbox mode and try rockets. Use your existing asteroid and go into sandbox mode. So save your game, do a quick save, and then go into options, game, and then enter sandbox. And then from this point on, you can use your existing infrastructure to, to open up space, build rockets, do whatever, and then you'll at least have the infrastructure set up. Mostly, I would imagine, like if you're doing carbon dioxide rockets for starters, you would have probably a tank of carbon dioxide already there, so you don't have to build that. Although it's really easy to do that in sandbox mode anyway. You don't really have to. Not a whole big thing. Kitty Cat says, choo choo. Are we on a hype train? We're on hype train level 2 right now. Holy smokes. Your community contributed 5 gifted subs. That is awesome. Thank you so much, kitty cats. I didn't even know I had a goal of 10, but I guess it's like those automatic Twitch goals that they do by default or whatever. But yeah, thanks again. It's really appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. Let's see. Joel, Fitz, we could be on the bestie squad. Let's kill Trivaldo together. Okay, let's give Trivaldo a chance. He just started, right? Maybe Trivaldo's gonna do good things for us. Let's go and Mission and Trivaldo. Okay, it's very likely that Trivaldo will get himself stuck somewhere anyways. So, oh, by the way, let's give Trivaldo a skill. This poor Trivaldo. Let's give him digging because he doesn't know how to dig. I guess he can be a... Oh, Trivaldo can be our doctor. We are missing a doctor, chat. I never have doctors in my playthroughs, so there we go. We got Trivaldo the doctor. What do you think about that? See, I use secrets for spigot seals, and then I get bonbon trees, free coolant, and low self cooling plastic from Nectar. Well, there you go. That's an awesome setup. I usually I like to use Nectar as well for coolant. That is probably my favorite. If I have early access to it. Other than that, I get so stuck on using polluted water everywhere that I just forgot the Nectar exists on some occasions as well. Okay, let's also dig in this area. I want to explore, or I can at least get access to everything here. So I'm going to build ladders here, obviously, because I don't... Oh, what happened there? I ran out of material? I guess I did. Okay. I'm going to build ladders here because I'm going to drop this area quite substantially, and I want to dig a lot of this out. So obviously I need a ladder for that, and then we'll see we'll go this way as well. And then we'll start digging this out. By the way, I have lots of clay here from the deodorizers now, so that's also pretty good. Oh boy, we're all gonna die, Dr. Trivaldo. All hope is lost with Dr. Trivaldo. Ethan hates us confirmed. Well, I really think that you guys are being too rough on Trivaldo. You gotta give him a chance. Okay, dig all this out as well. Hopefully they don't get stuck. Actually, I'll put that on high priority so they don't get stuck. You gotta go scorched earth with your arms and then come out of it with the arms. Oh my goodness. Okay, the hot polluted oxygen vent. Oh, actually, this is really good. This would be amazing. I could not have... I mean, not that I really need it, but I wouldn't have to rely on beacons ever if I could get this working. This is super easy to get working, chat. And not my latest video, because my latest video I just uploaded today, I continued overly explain, but this is so easy to cool, and I showed it off in my taming video for geysers. I showed it off in a way that is not really optimal, but I was trying to show just how easy it is. So if you're watching that video and you're thinking to yourself, well, this is not going to last very long, or, you know, to the end of the game, you're probably right. But the idea was just to show how powerful liquids are compared to gases. So how easily you can cool things early on in the game. So you don't have to wait for aqua tuners or whatever. Marie, okay, you're catching your breath. Okay, I was like, hey, are you stuck? So for instance, just let me go on this little tangent a little bit. So water, it has a specific heat capacity of 4.179, and a pipe of a liquid pipe carries 10 kilograms of water. Versus polluted oxygen. Oxygen itself has a specific heat capacity of 1.01. It's terrible. So if you're using, and by the way, the mass is a lot lower as well. So combined with the poor mass and the incredible mass of the water and the specific heat capacity, you can really easily cool this, despite the fact that it's 500 degrees, and just unharvest it. Obviously, you need deodorizers, but actually, I have deodorizers here. So coincidentally, I could definitely do that. But I'm not going to at this point. I don't need my duplicants to be over popped eardrums. In fact, I probably should watch out for that because they're pretty okay right now. I don't have any bad things happening in that regard. Okay, I have lots of nori here, or kelpals rather. Keep digging this area out. And then dig this out as well. Trivaldo can't swim. Can someone get him near a pool real quick? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to give him the swimming. Damn it. Nectar starts at -17, and after cooling base, it can be turned into plastic or disposed in space. I've never disposed it in space before. The nectar. Although it is very good. It's obviously the best coolant, not by a long shot, but it is definitely the best coolant that is not a space. That's not super coolant, basically. It's very, very close to polluted oxygen. The main difference being that polluted water freezes at -17 or something, somewhere around there. And polluted, nectar can go way lower than that. Polluted water freezes at, I guess it's up here, -20. Yeah, so it can't go very low if you're trying to deep freeze stuff. But nectar can go way, way below. So. Hey, what's up, Vox? Thank you for the subscription on YouTube. How are you doing tonight? The internet does not like nuance. Isn't the amount of oxygen generated negligible? Yeah, it's not very much. It's 385 grams per second. So if we take a look at the average output once this is analyzed, it'll kind of give us a better picture of how many duplicants this can actually support. I don't know the math on top of my head. I think a duplicate needs like 3,600 per cycle. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to remember things that I'm terrible with numbers. So if you guys know, let me know in the chat, and we can do some quick head math and try to figure it out. I mean, it's better than nothing though, right? Like it can be a great supplement to producing oxygen if you need it. Also, if you don't have access to algae, let's say, and you're not on the aquatic planet, this might come in very handy if you haven't built a spawn or a hydra yet. But obviously, it's not preferred. I mean, there's processing to be involved here. That being said, you do get a lot of clay, because this is basically infinite clay production. It's polluted oxygen, right? So I want to continue my aquatic planet save, but my old file is calling. Is it okay to share seed coordinates here? Absolutely. In fact, let me share my... in fact, if you want to go to the Discord, you can share your seeds there. But here's mine, just in case anyone is wondering. How much oxygen does a pool of polluted water off-gas if you put a line of deodorizers above it? Okay, that's a good question too. I have no idea. I've never done the math on that. So this is off-gassing. I guess this is already overpressured, so it's not off-gassing anything. It usually says... Well, this is supposed to be off-gassing. Okay, so it emits... I just saw number 19 kilograms per second. But I guess it depends on the pressure above it as well. Like it probably stops after a certain pressure. These are all like the more technical details that honestly I couldn't remember. This better be done soon, or we're gonna be in a bit of a pickle if no one gets this done, because the water's just gonna keep falling down. I mean, I guess I could just keep digging here as well. I don't need to be this high anymore. By the way, I should get violent duplicants set up. So I'm gonna start building eco power banks. Forgot how to make those. I think they need the soldering station. I think it would be cool to start getting prepped for bionics. Okay, so this is working out pretty well. It's above. I mean, I need this to be more optimized though. So I need it to be like right here. So we're gonna start working on that as well. How hot is this, by the way? 67 degrees. I don't really care for it to be cooled down or anything. So let's move this squid egg, relocate it to, I don't know, here. And then we're going to close this off and do a better job at managing what happens here. I'm thinking the exact same design that I would design for, what's it called? For one of these, like one of these tanks, but with a little bit of air gap above it. And that's how I'll capture the natural gas. I like to build my builds fairly wide and fairly big. So if you're wondering why I'm not doing it more compact, that's just how I like to do it. By the way, this also produces sulfur, which is amazing. So that's a pretty big W. I'll probably build this somewhere right there. And then just dig out all the back wall also. The pocket is probably over gassing. Yeah, I think it was. Oh, someone's toilets. Please do not pee your pants. Who needs to go to the bathroom? Is it Trivaldo? Oh, no, it's not Trivaldo. Someone needs to go to the bathroom, apparently. Oh no. Oh no, chat. I totally forgot about the bathrooms. Oh, no. The bathrooms are all plugged up. No, they're not. Okay, they're working fine. I thought I forgot to make this connection to complete the bathrooms. Anyways, this can go. I don't need this anymore. Let me figure this out before I totally forget about it. I thought somebody was gonna pee their pants and it was just gonna be a chaotic mess. Okay, so this is let's go over here. 64 tiles. I can go all the way up to this pipe here. No. I don't want to mine anything out. I'm out of tiles again, huh? So that's going to be how big my bathrooms are. Oh, I guess they're... Okay, that's okay. That's behind the wall. I don't really... I guess, you know what? It's fine. Just dig it all out. Just dig it all out. Polluter brine doesn't seem to off-gas, by the way. Okay. I mean, I guess that sort of makes sense because what would brine off-gas to? But that's interesting. Polluted water off-gases at a rate that depends on different pressures. Stops at 1,800 kilograms. All right, good to know. That number does sound a lot very familiar. So it seems to make sense that that gas to my right was no longer creating any gas. Okay, let's rebuild the showers. Actually, this is not quite done yet. Delete this shower. I'll move the showers over and I'll add one more lavatory. Insufficient oxygen production. Interesting. Should be okay. I don't know why we're having issues all of a sudden. Okay, put this here. Redo the design of the plumbing. And then add a lavatory and a sink. I used to do that before knowing about the SPOM, says Fitz. The marine drill neat? Yeah, the marine drill is needed for the fissures because the fissures accumulates sulfur and then they get plugged up. So the good news is you get sulfur from them. So which I'm using, by the way. I think I'm using sulfur for... what am I using sulfur for? I think it's for the pearls. No, that's sand. I don't know. I need sulfur for something. Is it for these? Yeah, it's for the gum palms. The gum palm trees. Which, by the way, produce a absolute amazing amount of... let's see, gumwood. I have 44 tons. Which I can make into, many different things. Very, very good. Who do I have? Why don't I have somebody here? Good job. Let's put Bubbles in the... Not here. Trivaldo. Trivaldo has a regular bed. Kind of feel bad for Trivaldo. Might have to build him another bed soon. I think it off-gas is about 1%, which means 18 grams at vacuum and 8 grams at 1,000 pressure. Okay, so when it off-gases, this might be a stupid question, but if it's off-gassing, does it off-gas its mass? Like, will it eventually disappear entirely? Or is it just off-gassing a static amount of like oxygen that it has within itself? I don't know. I never quite understood if it actually disappears or not. Like, is it like oxalite where it just off-gases and then goes away? Spums are more energy efficient due to being self-powered. I mean, yeah, they're just by nature, it's called a spum, so that does make sense. Spum is definitely top tier. Definitely top tier. It says it's happening. No, I live under Leah. Kitty cats. Yes, you do live under Leah. Polluted water disappears. Okay. See, you can't really complain about cheese and Ani since every trick is basically a cheese. That makes sense as well. Yeah, I would agree. Storage unavailable. Who dropped their atmo suit in here? Why are we bringing our atmo suits to bed with us? I don't understand that. Did they get around somehow? The atmo suit dock? I don't know. Or did they? Oh, they probably got through this way. If they go into here, no, they shouldn't have gotten through. Let's see if I send them over here. Yeah, they should. Oh, I guess they can go through the back. They can go through this way. Oh no, they can't come down here. There's no ladder. I don't know. I don't know how we got an atmo suit in the bed, but Marie apparently is wearing an atmo suit. So let me just kind of watch her. Okay, she did not put it back on. So, oh, you know what? This was where the old exosuit forge was. So if that makes sense. Do not use gunpowder for wood as it does not give decor bonus. Oh yeah, so I figured that out last stream. The chat told me about that. That is true. Luckily, I do have a lot of wood production here from these pips. I have a ton of wood. Uh-oh, I forgot about this again. I have a ton of wood from the pips, so we're all right. Fortunately. There should be no reason why anyone is threatening to pee their pants. I will be very, very upset if somebody pees their pants. Like, imagine the mess if someone pees their pants and it goes into here. You know what? I'm actually really concerned Travaldo might do that. So let me put this. Okay, I keep running out of material. Let me put this here. And then we'll put mesh tiles underneath here. So that all the, if this does become a mess, it will end up in this area. And then I can just go in and sweep it up. We'll do something like this actually. We'll create a little lip here. Does Ethan know about the polluted water cheese? What's the polluted water cheese? I don't usually use polluted water for oxygen, if that's what you might be referring to. Hey, thank you for the sip of Esca, kitty cats. Appreciate it. I'm almost out of Esca, chat. Like if for real, not just I have bottles left, but I'm out, like actually out. We're about to enter crisis. Okay, I'll take the squash fries. I know you guys really like the squash fries. Hey, what's up, Simon? How are you doing tonight? I might be having an aneurysm here, but I don't think Ethan understood my message. That happens quite a bit, actually, Fitz. Which, are you talking about the... sorry, not with you, but like, there's a lot. Sometimes I read a message, and I'll have to... I don't really get it, so I'll have to read it again. And if I'm missing, like, a joke or whatever, it's usually... It's not your fault. It's usually my fault. It's a skill issue on my end. I can assure you of that. My message above. Okay, so the message above is talking about the polluted water cheese. It disappears. Polluted water disappears. Then you say... water. So let me go back a little bit more. Okay. Oh, sorry. There it is. If you want to cheese it, you can send the polluted water to liquid storage and deconstruct them near deodorizers. It produces a lot of oxygen. Okay, I did not know about that. Sorry, I completely missed that message. I apologize, Fitz. I got it now. Let's see. You are doing good, says Simon. How about you? I am doing well. It's been a not a chaotic stream so far, but I also feel like my progress isn't where it should be on this stream. I need to start like focusing on one thing and not be jumping around so much. Like I keep going back and forth between the bathrooms and like stuff down here, and nothing is ever getting done. So beyond that, like personally, I'm doing okay. I hope that you are as well. You already said you are, but yeah, everything else is good. I wanted to put a drywall in here as well. That's kind of what I was looking at. What color should we do the washrooms? I really like blue. Let's do dark blue. I think that would look sick. Oh, this is granite. Yep. Okay, nice. We'll do that. Dark blue washrooms. Oh, and Fitz reposted the message. Okay, got it. Thank you, Fitz. Sorry, I missed that, but yeah, I did not know about that cheese. It was interesting so far, but had to take a break from my broth diet, says Kitty Cat. What kind of broth, though, are you on? I mean, it's not that it would be anything good, obviously, but... broth in and of itself, if you add a little bit of salt to it, it's okay. But I've been on a broth diet before. It's not the greatest, so I can... or maybe you just like more broth more than I do. I'm not sure. I can't wait for the vomit geyser. I'm sure there's going to be a mod for that at some point. If there isn't already, there has to be. Okay, these things are not being built. I don't know why, but let's try again. Let's do corallium. I don't know. What did the template do? I'm so confused. Okay, Morgan, the template, let me give you a little bit of a TLDR on the template. So if you plant the template, let's say here, it's going to help exchange temperatures with the immediate surrounding area, like in this configuration. All right, so it's pretty useful if you're trying to exchange heat with gases, or if you're trying to exchange heat with materials that you don't want touching for whatever reason, or if you're just trying to increase the rate at which a pipe is cooling or heating up liquids, or there's so many different uses. In general, I would say that it's not necessary to use a it's not necessary to use a temp shift plate most of the time, but you can gain a lot of benefit from implementing it after. So if you have a build where you're trying to cool something, try using just radiant piping first, and then add a temp shift plate or two and see what happens. And that will kind of give you a good understanding of where you should be using it and where not later. Like for instance, I have this chamber here where the volcano is erupting. It turns the water into steam right away. And you could add some temperature plates here if you wanted to. I don't really bother. It's fine without it. All the cooling for my material is done inside of these metal tiles, so I don't use temperature plates there either. I might, if the volcano material is very, very hot or it's very hard to cool, I might put a temperature plate behind the conveyor chute and then run my water on top of it like I am now. And I feel like that kind of helps it a little bit, but I don't like it's not necessary for a lot of different builds. Unless you're doing like an end game type build or you know, this is a specific scenario, you can probably get away without it. One thing that I will say the temperature plate is great at, like a little bit of a cheese, since we're talking about cheese, if you build it out of ice, let's see, if you build it out of ice, like let's say you build it out of ice here, where's this gonna go? It's gonna kind of make a mess, isn't it? So if you build it out of ice here, a nice temperature plate, this will almost immediately melt, but the ice is so cold that the water that it melts into will immediately cool all this, like basically this whole room. It's a very easy temporary way to cool, especially if you have like plants. Like if the plants are way too hot, like bristle blossoms, you can just put an ice temperature plate on top of it and it'll melt into water. and bring your plants back to life. My aqua base is having overpressure problem, too much air. That's a great problem to have. I have an Atmos sensor here that kind of prevents that from happening. It just shuts off the lights. It's not the most efficient way to do that because from what I understand, the corals still consume lime and salt water even if the light is shut off. So, but again, it's like this is in an emergency. I would prefer not to overpressure in the first place so I can just keep these functioning 100% of the time. But just in case I start to overpressure, I have this in here to stop it. The long-term solution, I think, is to put a bunch of corals inside of a room that's contained and then have gas pumps sending it to various different locations in your base, much like you would with a hydra or a spom. I think that's kind of like the long-term what you should be aiming for if you can't get the ratios right, or if you just want to have more oxygen than not. Which you might want to have, you might want to have more oxygen if you are planning to do liquid oxygen for rockets, right? So it's probably a good idea. Some days getting out of bed is progress enough. Oh, I agree, Dark Frost. That is 100% true. If you can get out of bed, that's already a big win. Chicken and beef. Okay, that's not too bad. I can't have sodium, so no salt in it. That's okay. Well, it's okay. Chicken and beef isn't too bad. I mean, I dislike bone a lot, and vegetable broth I don't like as either. But you know, it's not pleasant for sure. It's never pleasant when you're on a broth diet. I used to do a bouillon cube in hot water when I didn't feel like coffee or tea, which is often. Never thought about that. No way, I know something that Ethan didn't on this game. I might deserve a surfboard now. Maybe you can get your duplicate can start surfing somewhere. Let's make a rec hall. Put it right here. I do need it. Well, this is a bedroom. This is right now Travolta's bedroom, but I think we're gonna convert it into something fun. Like, I do want to put a soda fountain. It's really easy, just use carbon dioxide. But let's see, where's the... Let's do a party line, I guess. How much power does this take? Yeah, it's probably fine. I just whatever, put them beside each other for now. I know it's not a lot of fun. I'll move them around in a bit when I get them. Jukebox, there's a lot of power. Not too. Mechanical surfboard. It creates a lot of water though. I don't know. What else can I put? I'm looking for. I guess I don't have it researched. Let's go over here and get that researched. This one. Oh, it needs data banks. That's why I don't have it researched. All right. Well, that's another thing that I have to do this episode then. Oh, by the way, I forgot about this. Totally forgot about this. Open that up. I wanted to put a telescope here. So we're going to start that. Mop this up. Too much liquid. I had a broth diet for my procedure in February, says Weird Tokenish Figure. I think sooner or... Yeah, if you're talking about a preventative procedure, that's a good one to have. I know it's probably terrible, but you know, it's always good to stay on top of things if it's a preventative thing that you're talking about. I'm off to watch a late night movie, absent lurking mode on. Thank you for coming by, Kevin. Enjoy the movie, and thank you so much for the lurk. Off-gassing does not depend on surrounding element. If you flood in less than 1,800 grams of water, it will off-gas even if the air above is 1,800. Okay, I did not know that. That is good to know. You are very welcome, Morgan. Please feel free to ask any other questions if you need some advice or help. That's what we're here for. By the way, thank you so much for being here, everybody. 20 people on Twitch tonight and 35 on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the support and love. Please hit the like button if you're on YouTube, and if you're not subscribed or following already, please do so. I live stream multiple times a week, and I make videos. New video just came out today, by the way, chat. So I know I already gave myself a plug earlier, but just gonna do it again real quick. Continued the Overly Explained series today. Finally got the next episode complete. So hopefully I can start to produce those at more of a rapid rate. It's been a bit of a hiatus because of the Aquatic Planet DLC, but hopefully I can start making those a little bit faster. The next video that I want to do, chat, is I want to do sort of an opinion piece on sort of the state of gaming. So it's not something that's common on my channel where I talk about something other than Oni or Factorio, but there's so much in gaming right now that makes me so sad that I kind of want to do a video on it and share my thoughts and opinions, and maybe not like what we as gamers can do, because we ultimately don't have a lot of power right now, but I want to just share my thoughts on it. I hope that it kind of goes over well. I think it'll be a good video, but it won't be sort of Oni related like you would usually expect. So that's going to be the next thing that I talk about. But it's just, if you guys, I don't know how, what the age range of everybody in chat is, but if you're sort of like my age, like millennial, you experienced what I think is the golden era of gaming. Like, you experienced the end of like the infancy of gaming in a way. I know the PS1 wasn't really the infancy. The gaming was long before then. But like, I'm talking about real fidelity in video games. It kind of came around in the PS1 era when cartridges were abandoned almost. And that was a really amazing time. And then you had the PS2, which was also like the greatest era in my opinion. There's so many studios making games. The hardware was cheap. Then you had the PS3 and the 360, which was like the start of the online evolution in gaming. And then, of course, you had the start of the downfall, which was the Microsoft conference with the Xbox One, where they're like, hey, you can't afford an Xbox One, well, tough shit. You have to stay on the 360. And by the way, our games are always online and can't trade them in. Thank you so much, Dark Voss, for the Escasip. And then, of course, you have the current generation of gaming, where this is the first time in history that consoles at the end of their lifespan are almost twice as valuable as consoles at the beginning. Right? It's like, it's insane how things have changed. And so I wanted to do sort of a topic on that, and I kind of a video essay type thing. I hope that you all enjoy it. If you would want to watch, that would be amazing. That should be out sometime this week. Sorry, I missed a bunch of messages. So let me just get caught up here. Kitty Cat says, I can't do veg most of the time because it has carrots. I'm allergic. That's well, I think you are on the best ones though. I just don't like bone and veg myself. I mean, as good as broth can be, which is not very good on its own without a little bit of extra flavor. At least you can get the best ones, in my opinion. The Night Travolta, the basic dupe right of having a bedroom. Oh, it's so sad, right? No more bedroom for Travolta. Let's put Travolta in here. I feel bad. Give Toronto the rock. Give Travolta the rock bed. I'll give him the most uncomfortable looking bed that I have. How about that? There you go. That's just brutal. He goes from the good job cot. Oh, he even destroyed his own bed. Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry, Travolta. Not everyone has rubber boots. You're right. Let me make some more rubber boots. You are correct. Where's the... How do you make that again? Is that the textile or the crafting? Where's my crafting station? I know I have one somewhere. I have a soldering station here already there, which I rebuilt. Let me just destroy that one. I thought I had a crafting station somewhere. Let me get that built, and then it might be on crafting or textiles. I can't remember which one. Oh, it's right there. Yeah. Okay, so it's not that one. It must be the textiles. Okay, let's put that here. Okay, and then steel. How are we doing on steel, by the way? Steel should be on infinite. Like well, let's just make it on 10. It should be. This should be pretty cool now. Like all the tabs except for that one. Okay, oxygen is also looking good, so I don't know why I keep getting the alerts. Keep digging down here and revealing this part of the asteroid. Okay, do that. And then continue to go down this way. Okay, let's see. Awesome idea, says Fitz. Geraldo just got here and the first thing he did was lie on his chair. That's true. I mean, he did just do that. Already liked. What do you think you are? Who do you think you are talking to? Thank you so much, Leah. You are amazing. Really appreciate that. I do sometimes forget to like. Thanks for the reminder. You are welcome, and thank you for liking. I know not everyone likes to like. It's not everyone's thing to like videos, but I really appreciate all of you. Like, I wouldn't be here without. I always say, let me just kind of take a moment. I wouldn't, be here without you guys, and without you guys' support, liking, watching, and commenting and stuff like that. So even if you're just a lurker, I still really appreciate your presence and helping to grow the channel, helping to grow the community, and just being here, hanging out, right? Well, thank you. PS2 was the greatest era. It absolutely was, in my opinion. Leah says, I'm 30. I know what you mean. Yeah, so we've been through, people Leah's age and my age and Bits. We've been through, I think, what is the greatest era. I would love to watch that video. You can watch Gamers Nexus video about the collapse of personal computing. They're saying that, hey, thank you so much, Pilot, for this subscription on YouTube. Thank you so much. They are saying that although the price of personal computing is expensive now, it will likely get worse. I agree, Dark Frost. In fact, Microsoft just came out recently and said that they expect consoles, like hardware prices, to double again by next November, like November 2027. It's just brutal. Like how, and this has a cascading effect for gaming too, right? Because okay, even if you're the type of person that doesn't care about like the new AAA slop, which sorry, there's a lot of good AAA games, but there's a lot of really bad AAA games. All right, so I'm not gonna mention names. That's a whole other topic. But there's, even if you look past that, and if you just play indie games, fine. But how are indie developers going to continue to make good games if hardware becomes too expensive and nobody can afford hardware? Then who are they making the games for, right? Then subsequently, they're going to have to raise the price of the games to make up for the lack of sales, because obviously their games are good enough that people are going to buy them. It's just, you're going to continue to narrow down your user base. And all this, it's a whole other topic with AI, but regardless, if the consumer market collapses, and that's what I'm really afraid of. And that's what I want the video to be about, is just, I'm so worried about the consumer market for personal computing and for gaming and collapsing, because where do we go from there? I don't mind rocking my 50 or my 6800 XT for another couple of years if I have to. Like, it's a perfectly fine graphics card, but what if components start to fail eventually, right? And not everybody can afford to go and buy a new GPU, especially if they're $2,000. It's crazy. Like 2,000 Canadian, right? Maybe 1,500 American or whatever. But it's just an insane thing that's happening right now. And it's not, I really hope that somebody figures it out, because it's terrifying. I'm honestly terrified about the future of gaming, heading into the next console generation. I'm not even a console gamer, but I see, like, everybody can see this happening. What do you do if the next consoles that come out, like the Steam Machine just came out, it's $1,500 Canadian for a 500 gigabyte console that doesn't even play 4K 60 FPS. So what's the PS6 and the next Xbox going to be? Is it going to be all cloud? It might just be all cloud computing, cloud gaming. The hardware itself might be like $3,000. Like, how do you upgrade the PS5 Pro without it costing double, like in the current market? I don't know. That's already 6-year-old hardware. The gaming industry killed itself in 1984. They started producing so much crap that nobody wanted it, and we are slowly getting to the same point. Too much AI slop. Games are in permanent easy access or bugged out at premiere and unplayable level. And that's a great point. That's a great point. But it's different in the sense that we have we have the talent today, and we have the computing fidelity. We have the computing power to make games amazing. All right, we have the talent, and we just don't have proper corporate leaders to execute on plans on how to make a good game. So it's been left to the indie developers or the small studios like Clay in order to pick up the slack. Like, this game is my most played game of all time on Steam. I've stopped playing, but basically, like I don't play AAA games anymore. The last AAA game that I bought was God of War Ragnarok, and the next one that I'm buying will be GTA 6, and that's it. Hey, what's up, Kiki? Nice to see you. What's going on? Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on chat. I've been kind of going off in a little bit of a rant here. So if you guys are asking me something that is like Ani related, please tag me in the chat in a moment here. I'm gonna get caught up real quick. Nintendo will do Switch users dirty when they finally go out of business. Well, that's what I'm worried about. Is I think that at some point, it's not going to be viable to make consoles anymore. FIFA, NHL, NFL, year after year is the same game. Exactly. I can't remember the last time there was a substantial increase, and I'm a hockey fan. So I would love to see, NHL, FIFA, huh? I would love to see NHL doing well. Okay, let's get some boots on some of these people here. So swimwear, I guess may as well just add everybody. Ellie, Ellie, Charlie, Kira, Leah needs a swimwear, rubber boots. So Devin, we're gonna give everybody something. So if I miss you, don't worry. We're gonna go back. Swimwear for Kira, rubber boots for Kira, swimwear, rubber boots for Leah, and rubber boots for Trivaldo. So everybody has rubber boots. Oh, Leah has not put on her rubber boots yet. There we go. I think everybody has rubber boots now. No, Trivaldo and Leah are fighting over the last couple. Okay, so we need more rubber. Let's go and get more rubber here. Make some latex, and then make it into some rubber. Okay. Most AAA games are too expensive and not enjoyable. I agree. It's too little for the value. When you can just buy an $8 indie game off Steam, like Ani, and you can have amazing fun with it. So many great indie games right now. So many. Indie game developers have really picked up the slack, and it's honestly very refreshing to see that, but it's still scary. It's honestly really scary what's going on. There will be no next gen. Xbox goes to cloud game. That's what I think too. I don't know if you're talking about it being like basically insider confirmed or whatever, but that's my assumption as well. The new CEO has all but said that that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. Is that they're reevaluating strategy because it's not feasible. GTA 6, maybe your grandchildren will play, but not you. Come on, it's coming. It's not gonna get delayed. Come on, gotta have faith. Gotta have some faith. The whole AI thing is an issue. It's gonna be for a while. Can I even swim? Says Leah after Volto. Yeah, you can swim, Leah. Yeah, you're right. The AI really has not. Yeah, Leah can swim. Trivaldo cannot, which I should probably give. No, let's get Trivaldo to be the doctor, right? I definitely need a doctor. Go over here and give doctoring to Trivaldo. No, AI has definitely it has not done what is I mean, obviously. Okay, I'm just this is like the elephant in the room, but AI has not done what was promised in terms of making things better for humanity so far. At least not the way that corporations have been applying AI to our day-to-day life, unfortunately. But what do you do with all that water, says Simon? This water? I'm just clearing out some space so I can have it available for future industrial bricks. Like my industrial bricks get pretty big, so I need to be able to move this water out of the way to accommodate that. I don't really want it here because this atmosphere is really nice. I don't want this to get too cold or too hot. I need my meal wood because I'm on sushi rolls now for my main food source. So I think I'm going to put everything here in terms of industrial bricks. But these pips might have to go, unfortunately. I'm not sure where I'm going to put them. Maybe here for now. Kind of feel bad for just leaving them there. What DLC should I buy in order from best to worst? Okay, the number one thing that you have to buy is the Spaced Out DLC. If you are including, I'm not sure if you're asking about that one in particular as well. You have to buy the Spaced Out DLC. It adds so much value to the game, and it actually makes rockets fun. And this is coming from someone who doesn't really enjoy rockets in general in this game, but it does make rockets a lot of fun. Not that I don't enjoy it. It's just I prefer base building and strategy aspects, like in the early and mid game. Okay, that's the second best one. I would say is definitely the Aquatic planet, tied with bionic duplicants. It really depends on if you are looking for, like, in your case, Morgan, I would say that you'd have more value out of the bionic duplicant DLC at that point, because the Aquatic planet is just another asteroid that's very different from the regular asteroids. But if you haven't played the game long enough to experience the other asteroids or make your way entirely through the game yet, I don't think you have to go to Aquatic planet right away. I think you can take your time on getting to that. The Bionic Duplicant DLC is really good, but you may not, you may like it too much, and you may not like to go back to regular duplicants after, because they're really powerful. They're very OP. But it's a great DLC. The next one I would say is, I might be forgetting one. I feel like I'm forgetting one. As far as the other map pack goes, well, like Leah says that she really likes the Frosty Planet a lot. That is amazing. The Frosty Planet and the Prehistoric are both good in their own way. I would say that Frosty Planet is definitely more fun in the sense that you're no longer dealing with a heat problem. You're dealing with a freezing problem. You know, like if you're building a base, you're usually they're talking right beside each other. They're usually your base is getting too hot too quickly. In the Frosty Planet, it's like, oh, it's too cold too soon, and now you have to deal with that. So it's just it changes the game enough that it's fun and different from a Terra Star, let's say. But as far as the actual DLCs that impact all the planets, definitely start with Spaced Out, then go for Bionics, and then decide which map pack that you would prefer. I think I have a little bit of recency bias in the sense that, like, I really like Aquatic because I like water in general, water in games, but also because it's new and it's the newest thing. So it's a lot of fun because of that. But Bionic Duplicants for sure, it would be the third one to get. Honestly, to be honest with you, Morgan, I would just pull the trigger on Spaced Out and Bionics right away, because then you don't have to like play the game and then decide. Like, I don't know if you get how you want to experience it. Do you want to experience the game without Bionics first and then play with Bionics, or do you just want to have Bionics integrated and you know, like, I don't know. I think you'd get a lot of value just out of going straight to Bionics and Spaced Out. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's keep going. Let's keep digging. Yeah, I'll take the sweat. No, I'll take the Seacom. Seacom's cool. Fitz says, I like normal dupes over bionics. I actually do too. I like the personalities of normal dupes. Bionic duplicants, there's not enough of them to make it interesting for me. But having said that, bionic duplicants, a lot of people who prefer the game a lot of people who prefer to play the game quickly like bionic duplicants because they're so overpowered compared to regular duplicants. If you've played with them before and you know like how to get through the game quickly, they're super useful. Let's see. So Fitz says, well, actually, let me go back one more message. I missed this one. If I miss a message, Chad, just please feel free to just type it again, copy and paste it or whatever. But so 2EO says, AI does not exist yet. We have neural networks so far. That's okay. That's a good point. Obviously when we're talking about AI, it's the learning language models that we have available, right? So that's what we are referring to. But you're absolutely right. Thank you, Kitty Cats, for the sip of Eska as well. And then Fitz says, the thing about AI is that it's being boosted for military. The world is becoming a scary place. It does have proof of concept for some things, but obviously companies overinvested. And that's true too. Like, for instance, I just heard the news story the other day about how Claude, like the top Claude model, was taken offline because the US government has requested that it not be used for the public or whatever. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess just fuck everybody. I mean, again, not that if you're like relying on it for your day to day, which a lot of companies are now. Like I have a person who works, I have a friend who works as a software engineer in Toronto, and his team is now mandated to use AI. Also, there's a lot of like I just went to the doctor recently for 2 different doctors, and for like a general checkup type thing. And both of them used AI to take notes. They're like, hey, is it okay if I have my phone here, I have an AI that's going to record our conversation and make notes? And I was like, yeah, I go for it. Like, whatever helps you, help me, I guess, right? But so it's like, it's becoming integrated in society. But I agree with you. The military purposes are very terrifying use cases for it, because you shouldn't be allowing the military to make decisions in situations where there's not a human element involved, you know? Like, I feel like that's a little bit, like, fucked up. Thank you for the moral support as well, Kitty Cats. Frosty was hard to get into. I'm finally playing it. It seems like you're locked into one path. That's true. Like, you have to deal with the cold, right? So you kind of have to heat things up or just deal with the cold as it is. I haven't done a full playthrough of Frosty. I've only ever played like the mid-game portion of it, so I don't know like long-term what it entails. But yeah, I remember I found it a little bit too easy because I was so used to dealing with heat issue. One of the cats just came by. Freya's just cute. Yeah, I like Freya's hair. Frosty forces you to play completely differently in the beginning, which is what I like about the Aquatic DLC as well. Frosty and the Aquatic DLC are totally different starts, which I really, really enjoy. Hey, what's up? The cat's here. Let's see if I can get the cat up for you guys. Sorry, I want to interrupt our conversations here. Come here. All right, here she is. This is Lily. I'm sure a lot of you regulars have seen Lily before. She just woke up from a nap, so kind of wants to go. And well, she asked me to come play with her, which I can't right now. But she's also probably a little bit hungry, which is fine. She doesn't get fed at this time, so they always wake up hungry, the cats. She's already been fed. No Slogo Farm. Job Jerome. I have Slogos on standby, but no farm. no, I didn't really find a use for them just yet. Like, so they make dirt, right? Which is okay because I have pips right here. They also make lime, which is really good. But I have corollium. I have eggshells coming out, like out the ass from these guys. And I also, I will eventually be going, I will eventually have a Pokeshell farm, I think. So I don't think I need Slogos on top of all that. But, you know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe at some point. But that's why I'm keeping them here, so I don't have to reprint them or whatever. They're just existing for now, and that's fine with me. It's basically saying no breaks, no sick days. I think AI is now killing people in the war. You know, like I hate thinking about stuff like that, and I think you're probably right, but it's definitely not been used for good purposes all around. Like, it's not been as advertised in general for you know, the general population, which is really unfortunate because if AI does anything useful, it should be to help humanity, right? It shouldn't be used for anything other than that. So software and medicine are some of the areas where there's proof of concept. Doctors, for the most part, are having a huge boost when it comes to knowing someone's disease. That's true, Fitz. That's exactly what my doctor explained. Like, I didn't elaborate a whole lot, but it relies less on the doctor's memory when they're taking notes, like especially if I'm explaining some symptoms or whatever, and the AI can record, make notes, and then give suggestions based on not the interview, but like the question process, right? See, I hope I didn't miss any messages here. Looks like mine, Tabby. Yep, Tabby. Hey, what's up, Louise? Nice to see you. What's going on? I remember there's a starting planet and basic planet, which is totally opposite of Frosty. Desert is like 45 degrees at starting location and 70 degrees few tiles farther. No plants were survive. I think it's Oasis that you're talking about. I think it's Oasis. I like that. I was going to do an Oasis playthrough, actually. I really wanted to do one, but then Aquatic DLC came out, so now this is where we are. Okay, so Oxygen is still doing okay. Not sure what this is complaining about. I guess it's not doing okay enough. I guess it's slowly but surely becoming less and less okay. I should put some deodorizers here as well. So much polluted oxygen here that I can make use of. Put a whole bunch over here. And then we'll dig underneath. And then we'll do some ladders. Something like this. And of course, we got to bring power. We have lots of cobalt right here, which is perfect. Give my duplicants a little bit something to do. And of course, we'll need to pump here eventually, but this is dormant for 44 cycles. In my opinion, AI will be able to automate cancer research at some point. I hope so. Like, there's obvious, like you guys have mentioned, there's obviously a medical usage for it. I'm not very well versed in the field, so I can't elaborate on things that I may or may not know, but obviously that's a part of it, right? Let me just get some a little bit of cleaning done as well. There's so much garbage everywhere. Oh, I just realized that the oxygen is going to be escaping this way now of my base. I guess as long as I have carbon dioxide here, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But as long as it's like plugging up this area, I suppose. That's probably why. I should put a little bit of moochin in here. That would probably help. So the reason I opened this up is so in case someone pees their pants, the liquid would just drop. But I have to do this. I have to. There. You know, let's delete this. Take this out. Delete this and put the airlock there. That would be better. Before I do that, let me sweep all this up. I don't know the consequence of putting a door on there. I'm sure it'll just push it to the side, but I don't want it to be on this side. I'd rather just be it. I'd rather just let them fix it right now. Well, the internet was first used for military too. I did not know that. Companies have not been really doing well after COVID, and there was some overhiring. Now they used AI as a scapegoat to lay people off. This is further builds the mistrust of AI when it can be used as a useful tool. Yeah, I would say that's pretty on point as well. There was a huge hiring after COVID. Like, COVID really messed everything up. Like, not in terms of health. I know, like, health aside, I know it's a big problem in and of itself, so I don't want to dismiss that. But just in terms of how the world functions, I just remember the world being so much different, you know, before. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, it's just so weird lately. And it seems like it hasn't gotten better. Like, you know, in the 2010s, we had some good years where, okay, we had like the crash in late 2000s, and then the economy like sort of stagnated, then it recovered, and those were when I was like growing up, right? I had my first job and stuff like that, and things felt like they were on the up and up. And I remember I bought a brand new car. It was a Ford Focus. It was my first ever car, brand new. It was like $25,000 or $23,000 or something silly like that. Canadian, right? And I was like, this is pretty cool. I got myself a cheap car. It's life is good. And you could never find that now. Never. Do vertical deodorizers vertical. Oh, you mean over here? Yeah, I should do some more in the vertical as well. I'll dig this out a little bit. Let's see. Go back here. There's a trick to get pips to plant on every spot in a row. Yes. So I have a video on pips, kitty cats, but it's an old video, so I'm not sure how well that has held up. It's not really on pips. It's more about arbor trees and how to use arbor trees and get oxygen from them. But the way to get, so first of all, I would highly recommend getting the mod Pip Plant Overlay. This will give you a really good visual of exactly where pips can and can't plant and why. So first of all, the best way, the easiest way to get pips to plant. Okay, let me go back a little bit again. First of all, you want to have natural tiles. If you don't have natural tiles staggered in this configuration, it becomes slightly more challenging. Let's say this was all natural tiles, you have to pre-build manufactured tiles on top of them, so it blocks the pips from planting in those locations. Other than that, you can use a mod, which is what I prefer to do, natural tile mod, or you can make natural tiles yourself by building a manual airlock like this. Manual airlock, in building a U shape around it with regular tiles, and then destroying the manual airlock. And this will make, because this manual airlock would be made out of zinc, it will make a zinc natural tile here. So when you have your natural tile set up, spaced 2 apart, it allows you the pips to start from the left side and plant to the right, as if you're like reading a book. And just make sure that you have the ones where you don't want them planting, like the ones farther to the right, blocked with a natural tile, a regular tile, just with this on top. And then start from the left, put a seed in the room, let the pips plant that one, and then uncover the next natural tile, and then uncover the next one, uncover the next one, uncover the next one, so on. And then they'll plant all in a row just like this, as long as you want. The criteria is a little bit weird. And you can read it on the Pip Plant Overlay, but basically you can plant from left to right, but not from right to left, because it's looking the threshold. Not the threshold is not the wrong word to use. The parameters for planting are that the pips are looking for are any plants 6 tiles to the left of this location. So if you plant, let's say, this tree right here, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can have 2 plants here and that's going to be okay. But if you're planting from this direction, you can only have 5 to the right. So if you're planting from right to left, you can only have 5 to the right. So I think that's how that works. I've only ever done it from left to right because it always works. So just a TLDR on that. A little disclaimer. There might be other ways to do it, but that's how I know how to do it. Obviously, this one I can't plant because I have too many plants surrounding it, which is okay. I plan to get rid of it at some point, but I never ended up doing so. So that is how you would do that. I hope that kind of helps. If there's any other suggestions in the chat for how to do that, obviously I'm more than you guys can chime in as well. I'm not opposed to any suggestions or tips, but that's how I know how to do it. So the thing that is a huge achievement humanity has had because of military incentives. I mean, I suppose that is a fair point. Deodorizers has reached 2 in any direction. Proper setup is stack of mesh shells on top. Deodorizers will reach polluted oxygen from water and under. Yeah, I have the mod that shows shows how effective they are. So it's got a little like a star shape thing around them. This is really just for my own amusement. Like, I'm not trying to be super efficient here. There's other gases here too, which is not really helping things out, right? Like this hydrogen is kind of in the way. As long as I'm making clay, so I can make. Actually, I should be doing this already. Ceramic. Just put ceramic on infinite. That's going to be amazing. So we'll eventually need a lot of ceramic. My brother in early 10 was feeling doomed with things, especially in politics. Yeah, it's always gotten worse because we've gotten smarter. Like as humanity has access to information with the internet and with just being more aware and conscious of things that are going on. I think we've slowly started to realize that we're not really headed in the right direction. And then, of course, Fitz makes a good point here. Internet, GPS, radar, jet engines, microwave, duct tape, freeze, etc. Are all because of investments being made for other purposes, basically. But it's a good point. It's a fair point for sure. But this year I'm feeling more hopeful, hopefully. I hope so too, Louise. I'm very optimistic and by nature. This is the first time, like this whole conversation started because of my fears about the gaming industry and where it's headed. And that I'm not feeling confident about, unfortunately. I really hope that I'm entirely wrong. Like, I would love to be wrong. Oh, I really like meat, but I guess I could take meat. No, you know what? I'm not gonna take meat right now. I'm not taking the squid egg either. Yeah, I'm fine with meat. Trivaldo, let's see. Let's do doctoring. Okay, so I'm really... Yeah, this whole conversation started because of talking about where the gaming industry is, and then it led to AI and all that stuff. And despite how the climate might be potentially getting better, like politically or what, like, you can make your own assessment on that. I think that gaming is in a really, really rough spot. And I'm going to be doing a video on that here this week where I kind of give my thoughts and opinions on where I think gaming is going and what we might be able to do to fix it. I don't know, which is hard. It's a really hard problem. But on Pip Overlay, it appears green. Sorry, I was doing it right to left, but on Pip Overlay, it appears green. It might work right to left, okay? I'm just saying left to right because that's what I have always used and it has always worked for me. It's maybe the case that it would work right to left. I'm not exactly sure, So you can experiment. Obviously, it's not hard. Like if you mess up and it doesn't work, all you have to do is just uproot these 2 trees, and the pips will replant it really quick. Like I said, the reason this didn't get planted is because I already had these guys here, which is it shows that I already have 2 plants. So that's why that was like that. But yeah, you can experiment and try to find out. But the gist of it is just making sure that you plant in a row. Like you can't plant staggered. If you plant staggered, it's not going to work, because then you'll have plants in both sides of a natural tile that you want to plant on. So you have to keep the natural tiles covered in the order that you're trying to go in. The internet is dead at this point. People are going to get results replaced by search results with AI. There's no way to search for any website. Bots fetch content and serves the answer. Soon we'll have to go to dark web to find other people. You know, as much as it pains me to say, I do agree with. Well, not just agree. I mean, you can see it happening in real time, unfortunately, on places like Twitter, where I'm almost certain that Twitter is mostly bots at this point. No matter which side of the political aisle that you're on, even if you're not trying to be involved in politics on Twitter, it seems like it's no escaping the bots. It's almost, I can't really explain it because this is like new to everybody, right? It's not like we've had this happen before and we know how to navigate it. It's just very, very bizarre what's happening, and just in general. Okay, sorry. Oh, I gotta move this Pip. Sorry, Pip. You're getting moved again. Where can I put you? Where can I put you where you're not going to make a mess of eating stuff that I don't want you to eat? Okay, well, actually, it's only thimble reeds, which as long as it doesn't get over here, I'm pretty happy with it. By the way, this is working. This is working all right. Looking good. Okay, chat, I'll be on for another half hour or so. So just an FYI. Again, I just want to say I really appreciate everyone for being here tonight, and hope that you guys are enjoying. Please like the stream if you are. And yeah, just appreciate everyone being here. I'm going to be on for 30 more minutes-ish, and then I'll be back Wednesday to play probably Factorio. Let me give you guys what I've been doing on Factorio offline. So I've been trying new things on Factorio, trying to, kind of go slow and experiment. Usually on the streams I try to really push for something to happen, so I make progress. Off stream I've been a little bit more cautious and sort of trying to clear out more biters, which I know isn't also very progressive to be doing that stuff. It takes a long time. But I've been trying to get the hang of the Corvex. I think it's called the Corvex enrichment process or whatever it's called. And I've been experimenting with putting all of my radars around like where my pollution cloud is on electrical grid. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing or a good idea, but nonetheless, that's what I decided to try to go for. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. I kind of thought about putting laser turrets around the radars as well, because they can be connected to power, and I have lots of power now with nuclear. So anyways, a lot of fun stuff. I hope that I'm doing a good job. We'll soon find out. I'll get your criticisms and opinions on the next stream. But yeah, it's probably gonna be Factorio on Wednesday. I know not everyone cares as much about Factorio as Ani, so that's all right. If you do, that's amazing. Feel free to just stop by, say hi if you don't want to stick around for the whole stream or whatever. But yeah, I think Factorio will be Wednesday, and then we'll come back on Friday with more Oxygen Not Included. And yeah, I'm gonna keep digging into here. There's a lot of diamond in here and a little bit of copper ore, which would be really good. But the sand's going to drop, so yeah, that's fine. I'll just let the sand fall on my head. Not that big of a deal. A lot of granite here. A little bit of a cold biome. So, well, then we'll dig all this area out. Also, I probably should build some ladders here, make it a little bit easier to get across. Once I start digging all this out, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just make some redundancy happen here. Don't want to dig too far down because I don't want to have this escape by accident. Okay, let's see. I'll be honest, my biggest problem is that none of that. My problem is with age verification. Oh, you mean like the impending laws that are coming into place with the ID uploading? I haven't had to experience that yet, so I haven't had time to. I'm sort of been. Let me say I've been ignorant to it because I haven't had to deal with it. It feels like it's impending that it's going to happen everywhere. Which again, we'll see how it goes. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not excited about it, but we'll have to see. Factorio Mondays, by the way, Ethan. Well, I Factorio Tuesdays. I really appreciate your enthusiasm, Bits. I'm not sure if I can stream that many days in a row. All hail the Nisa. I'm not sure what that is. What's up? What's up, Herazalin, I think. What's going on? Louise says, have you heard of Captain Industry? I'd send my ID to Riot Games and X. So I've sent my ID to places like, a betting site as well. I haven't heard of Captain Industry. Just places where it's like required. Obviously, I play the OLG game, the betting app. So I have sent my ID to many places, but so I'm not completely opposed to it in certain situations. But I do see like the point that people are making with sending it to games and such, and like social media, right? Leah says, I'm going to hop into bed and Lurk, have fun, guys. It was nice chatting with you. Thank you so much, Leah, for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Lurk. I'm going to get going too, probably. I did say half an hour, but it's gone down to about 20 minutes. So I'll be gone in 20 minutes as well. So you're not going to miss much, Leah. Appreciate you being by, and hope you have a good start to your week. Hopefully it's not too hot where you are. Fingers crossed. I know everyone's going through a heat wave right now, but I hope that it stays mild. Captain Industry is surprisingly the most played city builder. I did not hear. Let me write that on my notepad, and I can go take a look after the stream here. I did take a look at Heroes of Might and Magic. I think someone recommended that last stream. Did take a little bit of a look in that. Didn't buy it or anything, but just taking a look at what you guys are recommending. I would love to get into other games that the chat or not, like the chat wants to see, or if there's let me put a box around this and I can start draining this out as well. Or just games that are popular or whatever. It'd be fun to get into new games, but it's just I have so much of my time occupied by Ani and Factorio, and of course making videos is the big one too. Like I want to keep the videos at least one a week, right? So that kind of stuff it takes a lot of free time away from learning games that I actually would love to try. Hopefully one day I'll take the pips, I guess. Higby the Boomer and Gossman. I'll take the Pip. And that's not, I don't mean to sound like a woe it's me type thing. Hopefully it doesn't come across like that. But it's it's obviously it is what it is. It's just a time issue. I think as you get older, as everyone gets older, games start to be more selective in like what you play. It's tough to really get a variety in, I feel like. Nice big polluted water pool. What's up, Unknown? In fact, nice to see you. Yeah, so I started digging this out because I eventually want to put a industrial brick here. I have to start also moving this water out of the way. So I've been slowly but surely working on all of that. So Keen says, hey Ethan in chat, aside from the starting asteroid, is there any base game asteroid that is manageable? My old save file is currently Verdante. I want to try other asteroid. So if you've been on Verdante and if you've been successful at it, that's a pretty not I wouldn't say difficult, but it's a pretty interesting start that makes use of different mechanics like the oxyfern. So it's definitely not the easiest start in the game. So that's pretty impressive if that's what you started on. I would say that all of the water ones are all the water ones are generally pretty good. I do like Verdante. It's my favorite. So I can't recommend that anymore. I think as long as if you're scrolling the asteroids and as long as you're on like the left half of all the available asteroids, you'll be fine. And they progressively get harder as you start scrolling right. Like Oasis, for example, is just a hot mess. It's like a lot of sand, I think, on Oasis. It's very difficult to get any crops growing on that. You have to have cooling very early. There's no oxygen source. You have to you can use like morbs for making oxygen, which is like an insane, not insane in like a bad way, but you almost have to like know that where morbs come from in order to make oxygen in some situations if you don't have access to water. So it's not a pleasant asteroid. I would say as long as you're on the left side, like Oceania is pretty good. The Squelchy is pretty good. The water, anything with a lot of water is going to be pretty easy because the water will naturally allow you to produce oxygen and foods. You're currently on RDO with only bionics. 2EO says, just a consideration, anyone can change a password, but not biometrics. I would refrain from sending Face ID anywhere beyond government. That's a good point too. So absolutely good, very good point. I do use biometrics for my phone. I think that's very valuable. I don't have to enter a password a lot of the time. But I 100% agree that biometrics are, you gotta be careful where you send that. Now, unfortunately, I can't build this anymore, so I gotta deconstruct this. But it looks like I am having an oxygen issue now that I've taken on another duplicate. So we'll build these pipes. We'll get the coral fed with water, and yeah, it should be good then. Should be more than enough oxygen. See, where are you putting the salt water above your base? So the salt water is just hanging out here. I'm eventually going to drain it all into a pit. So that's kind of what I'm working towards right now. Working to drain all the salt water into its own little, the polluted water into as far as I can go down, and then have another pit of salt water so I can use this area for something else. Now, keep in mind that on this asteroid, you're not really required to relocate the water instantly. Actually, your duplicates swim very fast, so it makes sense to keep the water where it is, as long as it's not like directly in the way of what you're trying to build. In my case, I want to build an industrial brick here, so I need to get rid of this water, at least at minimum, this portion of the water, like this area, so I can build the brick somewhere here. But it's not really required. Your duplicates are very, very efficient at navigating the water. Any asteroid has the active volcano trait. Yeah, I guess it is debatable. Yeah, like the difficulty really depends on I guess, well, knowledge of the game itself, but also I think it depends largely on how much experience you have in like taming volcanoes or dealing with the heat and things like that. Some of the more mild asteroids, especially if they have a lot of liquid, are very hard to heat up because the liquid carries a lot of cooling mass in and of itself. Like the perfect example is this metal refinery that's dumping all this hot water in this general area. You can see how hot this water is, 36 degrees, right? But if you scroll right, like not even, let's say 15 tiles away, It's 30 degrees. It's barely warmed up from the temperature that it spawned at, which is like 29.7. So there's so much cooling mass in this liquid that even if you were heating it up like I am here with the thermal regulator, like this liquid here is keeping my base cold just from existing. Of course, this is all blocked off because I don't want this to be cooling my base too much, but yeah, it's just really good to have a lot of water. Hey, what's up, Vibrator? And look, it's me. Welcome to the stream. I'm just about to end the stream tonight, Vibrator. Maybe another 10-15 minutes. So I'm glad you were here to say hi, but I apologize for having to go soon. Keen says, hey, thanks, Ethan, in chat. On Verdante, I'm currently working. Well, you can say I failed a lot, but I refuse to let it go. That's good. That's a good, honestly, great attitude. Just keep trying, and then keep trying it again and again until you make it work. Then you understand like where you failed. You can really easily iterate to make the asteroid successful. Yeah, unfortunately, you are late to the game. Unfortunately, I do have to go early tonight to go to work, but I will be back Wednesday, like I was saying, to keep going on Factor. I think it's going to be Factorio. Any advice on how to manage the long commute? Yeah, get the mod that shuts off the notification. So I have a mod. It's my mod list is in the description. It's literally called No Long Commutes. And that's how I deal with it. If you want real advice, to be honest with you, I don't think you can get rid of it. I think the only way you could possibly get rid of it is if you are on the smaller asteroids that are the spaced out asteroids. I think in that case, maybe the commutes would be short enough that you wouldn't get the alert. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. Your duplicates are quite fast when they go through the game. Like they're going to have +10, +15 athletics. They're going to be just fine. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I know it's kind of irritating or maybe even worrying at first because you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? There's so much long commutes. It's like, yeah, but unless you're really micromanaging, like for instance, you could have it so Freya or actually Fitz, you could have it so Fitz only ever working on the top portion of your asteroid. You can make them do that. You'd have to have a lot of doors and you have to tell them where they can and can't go, but it's just so much management. It almost has no benefit, at least not benefit that's, in my opinion, is scalable to make it worthwhile. You know what? It's going to be fine, I think. Volcanoes are a good power source, but in the late game in general, using volcanoes is a waste of resources, as there could be geysers or metal volcanoes. That's true too. So in the late game, I guess it also depends on what other geysers you find. If you have a very like if you have, I have a couple of minor volcanoes here, for instance. I have one right here. I have one, I don't know, somewhere. I have like 3 on this asteroid so far. If you need igneous rock for whatever reason, if you want to feed hatches with them, or you just want to have a little bit of extra power, which is a very trivial amount, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, especially when you have petroleum. Yeah, I guess it's they're not as useful, but you know, to each their own, right? That's what makes Oni so cool, is you can kind of play however you want and apply the techniques and strategies whichever way you want, and probably have a successful game. Get the conveyor fixed. Yeah, everything is conveyor. If you're talking about this conveyor, yeah, this conveyor is finished. It says I literally don't care about notifications that are not red. See, you and I are not exactly alike, Fitz. I hate having notifications up here. Oh, nice, Pacoos. Definitely take the Pacoos. Hopefully they... Where are they gonna go? I guess I didn't really think about this. Where can I throw? I mean, ideally, they would end up in here. Where are the Pacus? I thought I had a bunch of Pacus already. I don't know. That's okay. They can just kind of flop and figure themselves out, I guess. If they go this way, go left. No, go left. Oh, that's a bummer. If they went left, they would have ended up in here. But whatever. Sorry, what was I was answering a question here. Do you have a cold biome to your left? Any projects queued for it? No, I don't have any. I have cold biomes everywhere. Not really doing any projects other than mining it out at this point. I got access to this natural gas, which is doing fine as it is. Oh, I forgot to build a. This is silly. I forgot to build a battery here. I wanted these to be supplying some amount of power, so funny. No projects queued up yet for this area. I want to keep this area mostly intact because right now I'm using it to grow mealwood, which I need for sushi rolls. But in time, I may do something with it here. I want to build an industrial brick here. Probably in the next stream, I'll start it. Probably in the next stream. So yeah, I totally forgot. Hey, thank you for the follow on Twitch, Wacky Mushroom. Appreciate it. Totally forgot what I was talking about before. So I think, okay, so I'm just gonna get caught up with chat, and I think it's gonna be a good time to end the stream here. So let me just see. I discovered the feature of using tubes without energy. Feature because it's been in the game for many years. You mean like the transit tubes without energy? Plastic tubes automation and a single bed for specialized duplicant for working with a single building. That's true too. Okay, that's a good point with regards to travel time. You feel better now, thanks. You're very welcome. The ability to play Oni is a mod. The ability to play Oni together is a mod. I'm thinking it was a DLC. No, I think it's a mod. Not that I don't think it's a DLC that I. Not anytime soon, anyway. I was talking about getting a Factorio fix. Oh, okay. Sorry, vibrator. The Factorio. Yes. So there's a lot of changes in Factorio that I was able to like play around with off stream. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun to show you guys. I want to keep it all under wraps for now. I kind of talked about it a little bit, but you'll see. It's the base looks. Oh, the factory looks pretty good. Kitty Cats asks Ethan, how do you make aqua tuner or other keep a certain temp in pipes? Oh, great question. So, aqua tuner. Let's use this one as an example. This aqua tuner here is trying to keep this area, my cooling area, at around 16 degrees or so, which is also cooling my steam turbine. So as the water is circulating inside, I have a liquid pipe thermal sensor right before the aqua tuner inlet that tells the aqua tuner whether to turn on or off. And this sensor is set to send a green signal if it's above 20 degrees. So this is the automation for it. You can disregard this. This is the automation, 20 degrees, send the green signal. Now, this is kind of the tricky part. It works the same way as any other bypass, like for an infinite bathroom loop or for a, what's it called, the carbon skimmer. You have to make sure that there's a bypass so the water can go around the aqua tuner if it's off. Otherwise, the water will just sit stagnant, and then this will constantly heat up, and this will constantly heat up, but this thermal sensor will never trip. You have to keep it circulating on its own. The way you do that is just to simply put a liquid bridge right near, like you can put this kind of anywhere. You can put it like up here. It doesn't have to be here exactly, but this is putting it right beside the inlet is just a really easy way to keep it compact, especially when it's exposed to this very hot area. So the liquid bridge tells the water, because it's another inlet, to go in this direction if the aqua tuner is off, and then that just sends the water back into the rest of the loop. It's very easy to get this pipe filled with too much water. So if that happens, like if you're filling this with polluted water and you're not sure why the water has stopped moving around, it should always move it by itself. All you have to do is build something that looks like this, a little bit of a bypass, so there's more space for the water to flow. The water should always be moving from the moment that you start filling it. So I hope that helps. I also have a video on cooling with a steam turbine aqua tuner, so you can go check that out if you like. It's a little bit of an old video, so I'm not sure if it has the same richness as my newest ones do. I think that's like the right word for it. But it's a little bit more in depth, and it can probably help you a little bit more if you have more questions. But that's kind of the gist of it. Did that answer your question? Where is that in research? The aqua tuner or something else, like making a machine stop so the pipes stay like 25 degrees. Oh, it's like 25 degrees exactly. Base game is on sale right now. Yeah, I think I saw it on sale the other day. It's a really good deal. Is that automation tab? Yes, this is the automation tab here. The thermal sensor. Oh, the thermal sensor. That's in the, sorry. Thank you, Fitz, for the clarification. The thermal sensor is in the plumbing tab. So in research, you can search thermal sensor in here. And it's going to be with the aqua tuner, liquid tuning. The automation, the aqua tuner is in utilities. And then plumbing has the liquid sensor. Now, I will also say this. Make sure that you're using a good quality pipe or you're insulated, especially if you're running it through like a volcano. There's some insulated pipes. If you use sandstone, it'll be fine. Like, obviously, igneous rock is better. Ceramic is the best. But if you're using very poor piping, it won't keep the temperature even though it's insulated. You can go check out my video. I believe it's called Comparing Liquid Pipes or something along those lines, where I test out I test out all the materials with the liquid pipes, and I see like which material is the best. As long as you stay on the top row, you'll usually be okay. Like, sandstone is okay. Igneous rock is like the best, other than ceramic. Then you'll have usually granite here. Granite's okay. Ceramic's obviously the best, but just make sure you're not using something that's really bad. Yeah, Fitz says, I always use igneous rock, no problems. And then Kadika says, I more try to keep my liquid from freezing and breaking everything. Oh, okay. So that's gotcha. So if you want to keep, if that's the problem that you're having, make sure that you're using polluted water, because polluted water has a freezing temperature of -20 degrees. So you can go slightly below the freezing temperature of regular water. If you're using regular water, it has the same cooling capacity as polluted water, but it can't be as cold. So that's where you start to run into problems, especially since the aqua tuner cools 14 degrees at a time, right? So if it's like, obviously it'll freeze inside the pipes if it's too cold. So polluted water is the best coolant. If you have to go to very low temperatures, I guess you could use oil or ethanol. Supercoolant is obviously the best, but polluted water should get you through most of the game. Nectar's also really good. Yeah, like, so nectar, if you have access to nectar, just an FYI, this can go all the way down to -82 before it freezes. Polluted water, on the other hand, has the same specific heat capacity, so a little bit worse actually than nectar. Nectar is 4.1. This is like how good it is at cooling. But polluted water is very, very similar. It's 4.179, so slightly better specific heat capacity, but it can only go to -20 before it freezes. So like Fitz is saying in chat, if you go to -4 on your aqua tuner, you'll be fine. I was trying to dig down to oil to stop it from freezing. That's not a bad idea. Like, you know, oil, here's the thing about oil, and I kind of show this off on the liquid compare. I have another video about liquid comparisons, and it shows how bad oil is. You can use oil. Just be aware that it's going to cost more power because it will have to cycle in the aqua tuner more often than something like polluted water. So let's say if you look at crude oil can freeze at minus 40 degrees, which is much more headroom than polluted water. However, it has an abysmal specific heat capacity of only 1.69. So it's really, really bad. It's less than half as efficient as polluted water. So sometimes the best liquids are literally right beside where you're trying to build it, probably. Also, salt water is good. Salt water is again minus 4.179 or whatever. How do you keep that from overheating and melting? So this is built out of steel. Steel raises its overheat temperature to 325 degrees, but the reason this doesn't get that hot, even though the volcano erupts at 2200 degrees, is because I have water in here before I start this process. So I fill this with about 300 to 500 kilograms of water every single tile before this starts erupting. And then as this, by the way, this is vacuumed out. This will be vacuumed out. As this starts erupting, it transforms that water into steam, and the steam atmosphere is what cools the aqua tuner. The steam atmosphere is cooled by the steam turbine. So if the aqua tuner is not submerged in liquid, or if it's not submerged in any atmosphere that's being actively cooled, like steam is, then it's going to overheat almost immediately. So one of the things that's counterintuitive to think about is the fact that the steam is very, very hot, but it's actually acting as a coolant in this case because the aqua tuner melts at such a high temperature, right? So again, let's just go over this again, the numbers here. The aqua tuner will overheat at 325 as long as you keep your steam below that, which is very easy to do with a steam turbine. It's acting as a coolant atmosphere for the aqua tuner. And obviously the steam turbine also has to be cooled, right? So that's why I have the radiant liquid piping running over top of the steam turbine so it doesn't overheat. Because if it starts to overheat, then the aqua tuner will almost immediately overheat. So I hope that answers that. That was, I hope, if there's any questions, please let me know. It's, once you get it, it's super easy, but it's kind of hard to get it for the first time. Can you use the pipes to cool the tuner? So you don't know, you can't, I mean, maybe you might be able to cool itself, but it's really not efficient if you can. I've never tried it. I don't think it's worthwhile to try that because it's generating so much heat that you almost likely immediately have to cool it, cool the liquid back down again just to keep itself cool. So I think it generates too much heat to be effective, for the coolant to be effective elsewhere if you're trying to cool with itself. Honestly, the easiest, I know it's like a lot to build, it looks like a lot, but the easiest solution that's always going to work is to just have a room that's vacuumed out. And it doesn't have to have a volcano, by the way. If you don't have a volcano in here, and if you just had an aqua tuner with a submerged in liquid, in fact, that'll work for a very, very long time because the aqua tuner is going to take forever to heat up the liquid. In fact, let me give you even maybe a better tip, is if you don't even want to go through the process of having this chamber made because it's just too much to think about all at once, if you just plop the aqua tuner down in here, this will work for hundreds and hundreds of cycles. Now, you will have very hot water here, but this is going to work for almost like an insane long amount of time. I'm obviously not going to build it, but as long as you can have it in some sort of a tank where the water is removing the heat so it doesn't overheat itself, you'll be fine. So it's kind of like a scuffed version of, it's kind of like the steam turbine. Sorry, it's kind of like the steam vent video that I just did 2 videos ago, where I showed you how to cool a steam vent without steel and plastic, it's like it's not going to work forever, but it's certainly going to work long enough if you immediately need the cooling. What's the bottom of the metal chunk doing there? Okay, another good question. This is just cooling the metal. So the metal is being taken out from this volcano chamber by an auto sweeper. It's going through this conveyor rail. As it's going through this conveyor rail, it's actually going to be cooling in the steam as well, because remember, the metal is very, very hot at 2200 degrees. So it cools inside of this rail, and then after it goes into this area, it cools farther so I can use the metals in my base. So when the metal finally leaves, it's about, well, you can see the metal here, it's about 25 degrees once it drops, and then I can use this very cool metal anywhere in my base without heating up my base rapidly. That's what the purpose of this is. What's the name of the other cooling thing? It's the thermal regulator, I believe is what you're referring to. So, 2EO says it's impossible to cool itself. It heats 20k DTUs on top of the 14 worth of medium heat capacity. So I was thinking the same thing. I never tried that because in my head it doesn't seem like it would work. So that's a great input from 2EO there. A conductive panel. You can use a conductive panel on the steam turbine, but you cannot use it on the thermal aqua tuner. Like I said, I think even without trying it to see, I believe 2EO, because even if you could cool the aqua tuner with itself, it would almost render the cooling loop entirely useless and not have any viable cooling anywhere else to use in your base. Like if you wanted to cool the steam turbine and the metals with it, it would spend most of its energy, even if it could cool itself, on doing that. But like 2EO said, I don't think it's even possible. So there's no, I would just not even try to solve that problem. That's not the problem you want to solve. Like I said, if you just want to get a janky version of this going, just build it in a pool of water. And then you can relocate it and build it to a more robust and substantial functioning one like this. My last build, I tried to build it in a cool slush geyser. I mean, that'll work. It'll work for a certain amount of time. It's not going to last forever, though, right? That's the problem. It's not sustainable for long term. But in here, it is, because the steam is constantly being recycled by the steam turbine. You answered right as I asked. Okay, perfect. Yeah, vibrators. So that's what those do. The rails. Aqua tuner never generates its own heat, though. The heat is the amount that is removed from the pipes by 14 degrees. So I'm not sure the exact formula on what actual heat is generating. It says here, regardless of what it's doing, right? Regardless, it's producing a lot of heat, and I'm pretty sure that the heat that's produced from here makes it unusable for cooling anything else if you tried to cool itself. So steam turbine cools the steam how? Okay, good question. So steam turbine, you build this. So it's kind of built a little bit weird. It's not built like a regular building. The bottom row, right below the electrical outlet, has to be on top of, be overlapping with tiles. So see where the green suction cups are? Those would be inside the steam room like that. The steam turbine just takes the heat, takes the steam. If it's above 125 degrees, so there's a requirement for this. The steam has to be above 125 degrees. It processes that into power, so it's making 850 watts maximum at a time. And then it turns that steam back into water, and that water comes out at 95 degrees, and you just send it right back into your steam turbine. Into your steam chamber. So at no point do you have to add water to this technique. All you have to do is make sure that you're taking the steam, looping it back into your steam room from the steam turbine, and that's it. This is a completely self-sustaining loop. It will never need any sort of maintenance or rebuild as long as you build the aqua tuner out of steel. The turbine cools, that gets hotter by the aqua tuner or any other thing that's passed through the steam. Hey, what's up, MHZ2000? I have a question. Have you ever built a dirty steam industrial brick? Are they reliable? Do they tend to break or do they work fine? Yes. In fact, okay, so since I'm ending the stream, hey, what's up, Stringer? Nice to see you. We are winning. We're just about to end the stream, though. And since we are just ending the stream, this is a great time to show you my other playthrough where I did build a dirty brick, or what I think is considered to be a dirty brick. In my understanding, a dirty brick is one where you have carbon dioxide filling the entire industrial brick chamber. And yes, it works very well. It's very, very reliable. I've never had a break, and I'll show you exactly how I did it in this playthrough. And then after that, I'll answer some more questions if you guys have, like, if you have more questions, please feel free. But after that, we'll call it there for the stream. A big piece of metal is made out of what refined metal? Sorry, did I say big piece of metal? I meant to say it's hard because I'm trying to like point to it in my head, but obviously I can't point to the screen. Let me show you, just in case I explained that incorrectly. So here's my dirty brick, by the way. Let me get a steam turbine here. So I don't have. How do I not have plastic? Dude, I don't have plastic on this asteroid. You gotta be kidding me. I should have so much plastic. Oh, you know what? No. What? Refined metal. Okay. For some reason, I don't have like refined metal or something, or plastic. That's kind of crazy. Oh, the meteor hit this one. This is right after I went through the tear. Okay, so the steam turbine, if you click on it, you'll see the inlets. Those have to be below the tiles that you build them on. So the steam turbine will sit on the tiles, and then just make sure the inlets are in your steam room. So this is my dirty brick, by the way. The dirty brick is extremely cold. It's full of carbon dioxide. It does have a little bit of extra gases mixed in, you know, from over the many times I've accidentally released something. I also have a polluted water in here from the generators. They're just being suctioned out. But yeah, it's minus, I guess, 0 degrees in here. I'm cooling it, obviously, so I have some cooling processing going on, the supercoolant. But yeah, it's and I have multiple steam turbines and aqua tuners above the dirty brick as well. Gasket. Well, I shouldn't need gasket though. This is it should be made out of plastic on this old. This is an old playthrough without what's it called? Without Aquaplanet. So, not sure why it's not giving me the. I mean, I have lots of plastic on this asteroid, but hope your stream was good. Thank you so much, Dan. It was good. Appreciate you stopping by to say hello. Yeah, I'm just about to end the stream, so if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer. Yeah, I'll let it play for 2 seconds, yeah. I'll show you how to put this up. Is it possibly to cool the aqua tuner by itself by using ethanol instead of steam? Really? I did not know that. Then with coolant, you will have the cool of ethanol. That was the main one for today. Still trying to figure out the jawbone farm. I have not done a jawbone farm either. So one day I'll do. I will do a farm. I was referring to those steam bricks where people let machines dump CO2 directly in the steam room. Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe I wasn't sure of what a dirty brick was. That might have been my bad as well. But yeah, this is what I consider to be a dirty brick in the sense that I'm just letting the carbon dioxide be dumped into this room. It got changed regardless of APP or not. Really? I did not know that. So now it's always a gasket? Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't say plastic anymore. Stringer says, have a nice, happy Sunday stream. I went and saw the backrooms, cut a little bit of my Factorio. I'm probably going to come back with it on Wednesday. I've been having a lot of fun trying to figure out like my Corvex setup and trying some new strategies on how to defend the base from the biters. Not that I've had an attack yet, but I want to make sure I don't have an attack because I'm about to start the yellow research soon. Pretty sure the stream, the steam pipes got blocked by CO2, but are awfully them separated. One strategy you could use is just to keep the steam. Well, I mean, like for instance, the petroleum generator just produces carbon dioxide into its atmosphere. It doesn't matter how much atmosphere there is around it. Like I have 930 kilograms of CO2 around this. So anyways, I hope that answers everything. If there's anything else, please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to do like my little outro segment here and I'm going to call it there. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. A special thank you to Kitty Cats, who gifted 5 community subs on Twitch and 5 community memberships on YouTube. Thank you so much, as always, Kitty Cats. I don't think I'm missing... oh, Charlie. Oh, of course, I'm missing Charlie with the Twitch Prime as well on the Twitch side. Thank you so much, Charlie, for that. Anything else that I missed today? I think that's it. That was all for this stream. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support and for getting the hype train going today. Also, thank you to everyone who liked the stream as well. That helps me out a lot. And thank you to all the lurkers. I know the lurkers often don't chat, and that's okay. You're still so important. You're still a very important part of the stream. So thank you so much for being here. Do we get cats and bubblers? Well, the cats are nowhere near. Oh, the cats are long. The cats are long gone. So, unfortunately, no cats and bubblers right now. Maybe Wednesday. Sean says, thanks for streaming. You are very welcome, Sean. Thanks for being here. As always, I really appreciate seeing you here. So, EO says, then on vanilla, the game now only have the like the pumps for water to have oxygen. You need to have the oil biome without Atmos suits. Yeah, I guess there's more change to the vanilla than I had thought. I thought that the Aqua Planet was what would enable it to be requiring rubber gaskets. Interesting though. Anyways, I'm convinced Kitty Cat is just rich. She's always gifting subs. Kitty Cat is amazing. So Kitty Cats, I hope that you have a great week, and I hope that you feel continue to feel well this week. And everyone as well who is experiencing a heat wave or who has a heat wave coming, please stay safe. Please drink a lot of water. Keep yourself hydrated. You don't want to miss the next stream, right? So if you're dying of thirst or if you have a heat stroke, you might not make it to the next Ethan stream. So keep that in mind. Please keep yourself safe wherever you are. It's going to be a hot one, I think, for all of us, no matter where we are. Unfortunately, I've seen that there's, like the Europe and the UK and places like that have been just scorching lately. So I think it's coming to North America this week. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Please kill Trivaldo, by the way. We'll see what happens to Trivaldo. Kitty Cats is YouTube Twitch CEO confirmed. Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for being here. Play a lot of Aqua and pack and stay hydrated. Yeah, exactly. Nice to see you tonight, too, EO, as well. I hope I pronounced your name right tonight. I butcher everyone's name on the first try until they tell me otherwise. So appreciate you having you around. I'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah, Kitty Corp, appreciate you entertaining and informative streams. You are very welcome. I love helping people out, helping people play the game. So the next video will be, check out my video, by the way. Overly Explained episode 7, I believe. I feel like it was not a bad one. I feel like it was pretty good. How do I invest in Kitty Corp stock? I'm gonna start a crypto. Remember when that was popular 5 years ago? For all the YouTubers had their own crypto. We're gonna start Kitty Corp crypto here on Ethan Plays. Thank you for the streams and videos, says Vibrator. Thank you so much. A new overlay explained. Yes, Vibrator. Yes, it's on my channel now. Live tonight. Go check it out. I hope you enjoy. It's so I'm gonna try to make that series more common. If people like the new commentary style that I did, it was a lot less like thought out and rehearsed. Usually I try to rehearse most of my videos, but that takes a little bit of time. So I specifically just try to kind of wing it and talk the way I would normally talk on stream. So hopefully that goes well with the people. Let me know. And if it's adequate enough for that series, I'm going to keep that going for that series, just so I can get the episodes out a lot quicker. Obviously, for the more comprehensive videos, I'm still going to be doing scripts and more rehearsed videos, so I get the information across properly. But this one was a little bit more fast pace, let's say. Kitty Cove Crypto, not great short, and we'll workshop the name some more. Yeah, maybe we won't use those exact acronyms or letters as the acronym, but yeah, we'll have Kitty Corp Crypto starting at 1 penny here on Ethan Plays pretty soon. All right, thank you everyone for being here. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Appreciate you guys again. It's been awesome. Thank you for the subs, the memberships, and the primes. And I think, did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything else. If I did, obviously, like, I don't mean to. I'm looking at my phone right now. That's all I see. So good night, everyone. Take care. Thank you for being here, and have a great start to your week. Oh, by the way, Canada Day is coming up on Wednesday. I'm actually working Wednesday. I'm taking Friday off instead to have a 3-day long weekend. So maybe we'll do a little bit of an earlier start on Friday. Anyways, I'll figure it out. Okay, see you, everyone.